Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, I'm making the right place. Welcome to Mild Fuzz TV Live Nights. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Good. What's the over/under on drunk Connor joining us? Yeah, Connor wasn't drunk tonight. We were doing Elsewhere from the Multiverse, or Elsewhere in the Multiverse, which we finished about 25 minutes ago, and then he left to go and get some sleep. But hey everyone, hey Renegade, hey Johnny, hey Ridboy, hey RS, welcome to the stream. Renegade, how am I? I am okay. It's been a busy day, for the most part. I got a Babylon 5 recorded, which I think is just going to go straight up for everyone tomorrow. I've been too inconsistent with the scheduling on that to really put it up early on Patreon, so I'm just going to start putting that straight up, I think. So that'll go up tomorrow, as well Elsewhere. And yeah. That's pretty much it. That was pretty much my day. Beyond just some, I had a lot of comics to read for Elsewhere, so I was doing that for a lot of the day. That was pretty much it. How is everyone else? What time is it where you are? It is 4 a.m. Well, 4 a.m. and 2 minutes. 4:02, I suppose one would call that. Because I'm crazy. I actually had like a long nap in the middle of the evening. After I had food at like 7ish or whatever, I had a good like 2.5 hour, 3 hour nap, which was unplanned, but it's worked out well. Oh, notifications are happening. Who's tweeting at me? Damn it! Damn sorry. Why damn sorry? Oh, because you made a typo. It was just damn, okay. I thought you were apologising because I was up so late. This is relatively normal for me, though. Don't worry about it. Da 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 da. Hold on, I'm getting notifications. I have to reply to something on Patreon. I am being asked questions of important things. Speaking of Rid Boys, have you seen The Harder They Come? That sounds like a movie I wouldn't want to watch. I haven't seen the film, but it has a killer soundtrack. No, I've not seen it. I was making a joke because it sounded like a porn movie, to be honest. I am just going to... Oh, no, oh dear. Let me go look at messages here. Right, let me check something else. I know this is a really boring way to start a stream. This is just awkward timing of important things. Yeah. Right. Okay, message sent. Important business dealt with. I can give you my full attention again. For the most part. For the most part. There was another notification. we have a new patron asking questions, and I felt it was important to respond to said questions. Did it? Okay. Okay. Oh no, I made a typo on that. No. No. Massaging. No, messaging. Messaging is what I wanted to say. There we go. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. Oh well. What's up, guys? What's up? I have been terrible and ignored you for like 2 minutes there. Where was it? Yes. The Harder They Come. Haven't seen it. No. Haven't seen it. What's it about? Very good. So I don't know if I'll join you for the movie half, but I will if you convince me. How do I convince you to join us for the movie half? Assuming you won't be watching the movie as well, is there entertainment value in us reacting to something you can't see possibly being hilarious? I don't know. There might be. Rude Boy. I'll try and convince you over the next 2 hours, Renegade. I can't do it all in one go. Rude Boy, if you had to recommend a new series to start with the choices being between Kingdom, Russian Doll, and Hannah, what would it be? Kingdom. Between Kingdom and Russian Doll, definitely Kingdom. Me and Connor weren't into Russian Doll all that much, although other people have liked it, who've watched more of it. But we've been enjoying Kingdom from what we've seen. Hannah might be better in the long run, but Hannah's not actually starting properly until March. Amazon only put out the first episode for a day, and then the whole season's coming in March. So it's kind of easy to just ignore that just now because it's not really started yet. We just got like a preview of the first episode. RS, Jane Austen Walker has been cast for Stargirl in the DC universe, and the rumour is that he will be playing Wally West. The show is set in Wally's home of Blue Valley. Please let this be true. That's nice that you've got some positive Wally news, RS, because you typically have the opposite, and it's nice to see that you're getting some happy news. I'm happy for you more than anything else. But I am also delighted that there might be a live action Wally West. That's cool. That's really cool. Johnny, haha, not porn, it's a Jamaican film. Fair enough. Do you know, I've never seen a Jamaican film specifically. The only thing that I've seen that has a lot of Jamaican in it would be Cool Runnings, I think. Which is great. I do enjoy Cool Runnings. But, yeah. Rude Boy, I've seen The Harder They Come. It's a Jamaican film with Jimmy Cliff. But if you ever want to see a really cool Irish-English film with a reggae soundtrack starring Vinnie Jones and Lennox Lewis, check out Johnny Watts. Or Johnny Was. And Corrupted Save. Hey Jack, welcome to the stream. This is the first time you've been on one of the non-gaming streams, right? I think it has been anyway. Welcome, all the same. Speaking of Johnny, speaking of Irish-English reggae, was UB40 popular in Scotland? It might have been. I think I definitely remember the name of that group. I couldn't remember. I mean, I don't think I ever heard any of their music, but that doesn't mean that Scotland as a whole wasn't into them. There's many a popular artist that I couldn't name a song of or recognize. For example, I have no idea what Taylor Swift sounds like. So, I'm not the best judge of this. They're definitely not that popular in that I know that everyone was raving about them, but they definitely were on music channels and stuff for a time. But, I mean, if you'd asked me to name a reggae band, I would never have... I'll be honest, I probably couldn't name anyone. So I would never have named them. But, yeah. So I'm a horrible person to ask that for. So, hi Buana, welcome to the stream. Yeah, time to relax indeed. As indeed. Renegade, I watched Darby O'Gill and the Little People last night. Finally saw a movie. Wait, that was all one movie? I thought that was two movies. I thought it was Darby O'Gill and then the Little People. But it's Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Again, it's a movie I've never heard of. Lewis, are you a fan of Dragon Ball? First of all, welcome to the stream, Lewis. Secondly, not at all. I mean, it's also true that I've never seen Dragon Ball, but given how I feel typically about anime, I would probably hate it. I would probably hate it. So, sorry. Surely red wine was popular everywhere. Wait, what? UB40's Red Wine? Oh, it's a song. It's a song by UB40. See, I told you, I'm not the guy to ask this. I'm really not. I like many music, but I don't follow a lot of genres, as it were, or what's popular and hip in the charts, as it were. Lewis, do you have a Nintendo Switch? I do not. I have no Nintendo Switch. I never had a Wii U either. I briefly had a Wii but got rid of it. The only Nintendo system I've ever had and had for any length of time was a GameCube, because it had some exclusive Resident Evil games that I really cared about. I've never been a Nintendo guy though, so sorry. I don't really care about Mario or Zelda or whatever. It's just not my thing. You would say Toots and the Maytals. Are these more songs? I have no idea what this is. Blana, what movie are we going to watch tonight and what platform? I.O. is the movie, which is a Netflix original movie. It was a movie we were supposed to watch last week, but it got pushed because Connor was here, and Connor ended up hogging the entire stream. The inconsiderate prick that he is. Johnny, what is the best uniquely Scottish insult? Oh god. I don't know what the best one is, but I'll give you a few. For example, bawbag, which is ball bag. Basically, the word ball becomes baw in slang. So bawbag is one that's thrown around a lot. There's Egypt, which basically just means an idiot. So you could have an Egypt. I'm trying to think of other ones. I feel like Scottish insults do tend to get creative. Like, one might call you a cum guzzler, or something like that. They tend to be playful with words like knob cheese. Like, knob's just a general British word for dick, but knob cheese, I think, specifically something that a Scottish person probably invented. It's a great question, though. I'll try and think of more insults. Renegade, I watched a video today that I think you would love. Two guys pitched their ideas for DCEU movies, and it was awesome. Presumably better than the movies we've got. Hell, that could end up being one of our 121 extra episodes of just me and Connor sitting trying to fix the DC movies. Jack, buying a whole Nintendo system for Resident Evil games, my kind of gamer. Oh yes, it was Resident Evil Remake. That was why I bought a GameCube. And then of course it had Zero. And I didn't have a PS2 at the time, so also I got the port of Code Veronica, and that was how I played Code Veronica. I also got the ports of 2 and 3, just for completion's sake. And they did run better, and they did have skippable cutscenes and stuff, which was nice. But yeah, GameCube was my jam, just for Resident Evil games. Hey Cindy, welcome to the stream. Delighted to see you. Lots of highs, lots of highs. Message her for review. What's this Renegade saying? You're saying horrible things, Renegade. Let's see. I have a good insult for you, cock waffle. Alright. I mean, waffles are cool. You know, cock's not so much. I mean, I like my own well enough, but other cocks not so much. So yeah. But waffles, not what I would put on a waffle, I guess. But it's to each their own. Buana, does the cheese mean what I think it means? Yes, it probably does, Buana. Oh dear. I'm having to approve all these insults. My favorite American insult is "You smell like a bag of dicks." Bag of dicks is alright, yeah. It's funny actually. I typically, obviously, I'm not a fan of insults that are, specific to a group. Anything that's sexist, racist, and that kind of thing. But for some reason, I do really love the phrase "you dumb broad." I don't know why, but for some reason, I really like that phrase. But I can only use it in really ironic circumstances because it sounds stupid when you say it in a serious way. But I really like the phrase "you dumb broad." Something about that phrase really cracks me up. But yeah, I love how we started with insults. We're starting with insults and naughty language. It's not as I'll go on YouTube. I don't want YouTube to demonetize me. Alright, so if Jake is playing Wally, and considering the DC TV shows have taken liberties with relationships in the past, Green Lantern, Hot Girl, and so on, do you think they would have Wally date Courtney Whitmore? I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. We could have a teenage Wally. The question is, will he have the red hair this time? That's a good question. I'd be curious. Renegade, you dumb broad sounds like a gangster. Yeah, it sounds like a gangster from the 30s. Sounds like an old-timey gangster. But I think that's what I like about it, is I wouldn't say like a gangster. I like the idea of just saying it in present day when no one else uses it. I think that's what makes it funny to me. As long as we're talking about insults and Jamaica, I can combine the topics. Blood clot and bumbaclot are pretty big insults. Essentially calling someone a dirty tampon and toilet paper. Oh jeez. Oh yeah, that is pretty bad. Jake is a redhead. I didn't know who this was. Oh, I'll Google him. I'm going to get a look at this guy. Let me scroll up and get the original comment he said so I can copy and paste. Jake Austin Walker, there it is. Move the chat over there for a second and I'll have a little quick Google. Oh yeah, look at that. He's got ginger hair. Look at him. He's a proper ginger. Who's this other actress playing? There's two people here. She's undisclosed. Oh no, he was undisclosed when this news went up. Who said he's playing Wally? Because this article says it's undisclosed. But she's playing Cindy Berman. Is that someone from the comics? Or is that a code name? Maybe a code name. No, where's this? DC Wiki's got someone. Oh, Shiv. Supervillain and war criminal. The daughter of supervillain and war criminal Dragon King. Interesting. I have to do some research later. Let's go back to the bottom. He said that he's wanted to play Wally West before. Okay, so okay, it's a rumor. All right, so people are looking at him, going, "He looks like a ginger. What ginger could we possibly have?" Oh, he said he wants to be Wally West. Oh, good. Oh, you love undisclosed. Wally Brando, as played by Michael Cera in the hit television show Twin Peaks. I mean, that's a pretty good Wally. I mean, we can't argue with that. Wally, he only had one scene that entire season, but it was gold. Like, it probably would have gotten old if he kept coming back and doing it again, but the one time was really funny. One time was really funny. Yeah, so late night stream, good fun. As per usual, check your you can get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz. You can get me on Twitter at wibble89. You can support us over at patreon.com/MildFuzzTV if you want some stuff. You can buy merch. There's links in the description to both the US and the UK merch stores. And if you want to just donate a one-time amount, you can do that on YouTube right now on the Super Chats. You can just click that dollar button and type in an amount. And that's my shameless shilling for the I'll do it again at the end. I always do it again at the end, but That's my shilling for the early part of the stream. Rude Boy, have you seen the series Eureka on Prime about a US Marshal who becomes a sheriff of a little town in Eureka where the best US men secretly live and build inventions that cause problems? I never have. I remember it being on Sci-Fi, and it ran to like 4 or 5 seasons or something like that. I remember seeing ads for it a long time ago when it was on, but never seen it, no. I know it had a following. I don't know if it was like a huge following or whatever, but Renegade like Eureka. That's cool. Because I'm pretty sure when it started, it was called A Town Called Eureka or something like that. It had a longer title, and then I think they shortened it to just Eureka because they thought, you know what, Eureka's unique enough on its own. It doesn't need to be more than that. You saw James Callis on Eureka. That's cool. I didn't know he was on that. Johnny wanted to watch it, but could never find it. Red Boy, it's more light-hearted than other sci-fi shows, but still entertaining. Yeah. Because I tried Warehouse 13, which was like around the same time or a bit later, and I always assumed that was the same kind of vibe that Eureka had. Kind of a light-hearted sci-fi show. I don't even know how many seasons that went, actually. That we're asking. I'm curious. Warehouse 13... Wikipedia. Had 5 seasons, damn. Oh well. Fancy that. The ads made it look bright and colourful, like it took place in the suburbs of Edward Scissorhands or something. Renegade was never into Warehouse 13. I only ever watched the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and I thought it was fine. Like I thought it was fun enough for what it was. I never stuck around to see more of it. I'd be curious to know if it got good and like had a nice like full story, because then I'd be tempted to go back and binge it at some point. But you know, that's what it is. Where are we? RS, that and Jeff Johns has said he would want to use him. Okay. Buana, hey Peter, can you count to 10 with your fingers? This is for research. I know why you're asking this. I saw your comment, and I think I do it the way Connor does it. Yeah, I think I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I do that. I think I start with the thumb. Amusingly though, when I read that comment, I said I was going to intentionally mess with you and start with my pinky next time I had a chance. So I was going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to weird you out and really confuse matters. But I think I started with my thumb as well. Reggae, you loved the show Face Off. It was a movie makeup competition. Nothing to do with the John Travolta and Nicolas Cage film of the same name, I'm sure. Johnny, I'm disappointed Peter didn't get my Eureka joke. Oh, what? Oh, I wanted to watch Eureka, but I could never find it. Okay. Alright, I apologize. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't get the joke. I'm sorry. What is the finger counting diagnosis? Jack starts with his index finger and uses his thumb last. I mean, nah, I use my thumb. Even with both hands, I do that. Yeah. I don't really think about it. That's just how I do it. I don't know if this is a regional thing or if it's just a coincidence that me and Connor both Both do it that way. Blah. Oh wait, I get more Facebook notifications. It's like all of a sudden everything on the internet's like talking to me. It waited till I was busy and doing something, I mean, kind of important? This is important. What can we call this important? Alright. This is fascinating to me. Important plot point in Glorious Bastards. It's been a while since I've watched Glorious Bastards, but yeah, I think I remember the scene you're talking about. Oh, I should settle in and get comfy. This is a long stream normally. To hell with images and pretending that we're professional. Let's just get comfortable and sit back a little bit. Get intimate. Have a nice laid back stream. Actually, we're getting to the point now where we're probably ready to have a new shirt design go up. Because the idea is to have one every month go up just to kind of rejuvenate the store. So if people want to start pitching ideas for what the next shirt should be, you are more than welcome to use this stream to fire some ideas at us. What's in chat again? What's that? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. It's I think shows another shelf of discs, so I can do that. Yeah. Thank you for everyone's support of them at the index finger. What? Why? Buana, you're weird. Renegade, it's still snowing where I am. Very annoying. Snow can be annoying for sure. Right, a shelf of movies. So we ended last time on Forbidden Planet on the sci-fi shelf, I want to say. This is going to be a relatively boring stack. And you'll realise why when I start it. You don't like IO that much? That's a shame. Are you sticking around when we watch it later? Because I feel like that might be torturous if you didn't like it that much. And Buana got his job. That's good. Happy to hear. Cindy, is there a way to get cartoon versions of us on the shirts? I mean, not from any of us. I don't think any of us are artistic enough to do cartoons of us. I think someone would have to volunteer to design that. Because I can't draw for shit. I know that much. I'm pretty sure Connor can't either. I mean, Tim can. Tim has drawn comic art, I suppose. I don't know if it's necessarily what you're thinking though. He does sketches and stuff, but for what I'm thinking, you're thinking of, like someone would have to who has talent would have to step forward. But as in the financial sector, very fancy. Corrupted, or I'll just say Jack. I'm awful. I really rate the movie I watch on Netflix. I always rate movies on Letterboxd and IMDb, but I never do it on Netflix. Thumbs up and thumbs down is just not interesting enough. Johnny, Buana, based on the emoji, does the job involve punching people? I think he was going for a fist pump, but yeah. Rude Boy, it was underwhelming, but I'm curious to see what other fans of analysing movies and shows think about it, so I'll stick around. That's cool. That's cool. Well, there's usually only a few of us, because it's very late, you know, it's kind of an intimate end of the night thing. Corrupted save, we need Pete as Mr. X. A cartoon of me with the trench coat and the hat on. Yeah, we can do that. If someone can draw it. RS, with the Fox Disney deal, do you think we'll get Mystique and Rogue as villains in Captain Marvel 2? As someone who's not read a lot of Marvel, can you explain why Mystique... Well, not Mystique, but can you explain why Rogue would be a villain in Captain Marvel? Johnny, we need Peter as a feudal lord on Game of Thrones. I mean, I don't like Game of Thrones, so I mean, I don't know if that's the best fit, but right, I'll do some of these movies. First up, The Fountain. Actually, let me see the image better so I can look at it. Right, there you go. Fountain. Darren Aronofsky. I would argue Darren Aronofsky's best film. I like it a lot. Galaxy Quest. Fantastic. Fantastic comedy take on satire on Star Trek, but it's actually quite well spirited as well. It's not like a mean satire. We have the 90s Gamera trilogy, which is surprisingly fun. This is pretty good. If you like these kind of movies. If you don't like kaiju movies, then yeah, you're not going to get much out of it. It's about a superhero giant turtle who has a rocket pack, essentially, that saves the world and fights other monsters. But yeah. Next up, Gattaca. Really good sort of hard sci-fi movie about someone who shouldn't be allowed to do great things, sort of sneaking around and doing it. Ethan Hawke, Jude Law, Uma Thurman. It's good stuff. Why is your webcam display backwards? It's because when I'm recording with Connor, Matt, or whoever, I'm looking in towards them rather than looking out to the outside. I mean, I can change it. Like, I can fix it on this. Although the framing is going to be all wrong if I do that. Because it's set up for this framing. If I flip it, it's probably going to... transform. Flip horizontal. See, look. That's weird. That's really weird. I don't like this. I'm looking to the outside. It's bizarre. All my filmmaking is telling me to flip it back, so I'm going to flip it back. Oh, there we go. Is that there? There you go. Happy. Yeah, Gattaca's great. Galaxy Quest great. People love these movies. That's good. By Grathbar's Hammer. What a savings. That is such a good line. I love Alan Rickman in Galaxy Quest. He's so good. Gattaca's awesome as well. Rude Boy, yeah. I feel that's some of the coolest set designs of that year. Yep, yeah, it was a great movie. Yeah, so weird switchback. Yeah, no, I agree. It looks better this way up. It looks better this way. Rogue put Carol into a coma and stole her powers. She started as a villain with Mystique in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants before joining the X-Men after being overwhelmed with Carol's memories. Overwhelmed with Carol. Yeah, okay. Alright, okay. I didn't know that. So I have no idea if they'll do that. I saw a headline today about Wolverine being recast in the MCU, but I mean, we'll see where it goes. Exactly, Johnny. I'm facing the center of the frame. That's why it's the right way around. It would arguably make no difference if I was completely full screen, but because I'm in an overlay and I'm not in the middle, this makes more sense because I'm looking into the center. So here's why this batch is a little bit boring, because we're about to get a lot of the same movies in the same franchise. This is Godzilla, or Ibra, Horror of the Deep specifically, but the alternate title is Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. The ones in green at the bottom of this kind are the original titles, so that's what I know them as. Although this one isn't. This one's just Destroy All Monsters, which is a Godzilla movie. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Godzilla vs. Gigan. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Godzilla vs. Biollante. double feature: Godzilla versus King Ghidorah and Godzilla versus Mothra, the Battle for Earth. So this is these double features are the 90s and 2000s Godzilla movies, from Sony. These are US discs. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 and Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. This is Godzilla versus Destroyer and Godzilla versus Megaguirus. Godzilla 2000. This is actually not a double feature, but it's got 2 cuts of it on it, so, which is annoying because that actually comes in between these two. Godzilla Megaguirus is actually after 2000, but whatever. And then Godzilla versus Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters Attack, or All Out Attack, and then Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Rather than call it Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 3, they changed it slightly to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Godzilla Tokyo SOS and Godzilla Final Wars. And then wrapping up, we have the 2014 Godzilla. What is the best Godzilla opponent? King Ghidorah. It's actually quite an easy pick. King Ghidorah is the best one. You don't get Godzilla appeal. You like monsters just plain large, not mega large. That's fair. Never found them interesting. Always preferred his sidekicks. Rude boy. Have you ever watched The Blob? It's various remakes and sequels. I have seen the original Blob. In fact, I own the original Blob. It's a Criterion Blu-ray over on that shelf. And just wrapping up this batch, we have Gravity, which I probably don't have to explain. And then, a bit more interesting, a bit more low-key, we have a movie called Hardware from 1990, which is a pretty fun little B sci-fi movie. Which, the plot's not that great, but the set design and the overall mood of it's really nice. So, yeah, King Ghidorah, your favourite too, Renegade. RS, the Heisei era is my favourite of Godzilla continuity. Yeah, I'm not... The original Godzilla, which I do have, it's in the Criterion section, is definitely the best one, right? It's the best Godzilla movie, no question. My favourite era, though, was... I don't know. That's a hard choice. I've not seen a lot of the... No, I've actually seen almost all of them now, actually, that I'm thinking about it. Because we're almost at the end of the first era on the reviews. Jack, you'd have liked Gravity a bit more if they treat it like a silent film. Yeah, I can see that. There's not a lot of dialogue in it, but she does talk to herself a bit too much. Buana, can you explain Gravity? Start with the apple falling from the tree. You want me to explain Gravity? I never did physics in school, so I don't think I'm the best person to be explaining gravity and the principles of it. But in space there is none, and that makes it difficult. That's what I'll say. Joy, did you like the Pacific Rim films? I watched the first one because of Del Toro, but I just didn't see the appeal. Very little fantasy design, and all the audio-visual clutter of Transformers. I thought it was better shot than Transformers. I thought I could tell what was happening in the fights versus Transformers. I actually really like Pacific Rim, and I'm actually kind of a weird film fan, and I don't really like Guillermo del Toro's films that much, but I really like the Pacific Rim movies. I also really like Mimic. Del Toro's like most generic movies by anyone else's standards are the ones that I like, because I don't actually like his tone and fantasy that he normally does. I just can't get into it. Whereas Pacific Rim appeals to me in a Power Rangers kind of way. And I actually like the second one a bit more, even, for what it was. RS, I hope we get Mothra's twin fairies in the next film. I'm a nerd. Hey, no, I'm expecting them. We need the twins. We need the twins to introduce Mothra. That's just the rules. The fact that we're getting Mothra and King Ghidorah and Rodan is amazing. But what is the difference between Mother and Father boxes? I get Mother is good and Father is bad, but in the comics, seems to use the boxes interchangeable. Yeah, that may be just an introduction in the show. Young Justice might just be the first thing to do that and say, hey, there's a clear distinction like this. Jack likes Mimic. That's cool. I like Mimic a lot. That was a fun movie. I'm going to put these back. So we ended at hardware, and that was about a half. That's about halfway through the sci-fi section. Are you Kyrie Irving? No. And message retracted. I saw it. I saw the comment. I responded. Do 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 do. We all need to learn to clack spoons together for self-defense. Such a dark movie. Not in terms of tone, just in terms of visuals. It's a very dark film. There's a lot of rainy nights and subway tunnels and like icky goo and stuff like that. It's very much Del Toro's Alien in a lot of ways. Have you watched Peaky Blinders? No, I haven't seen any Peaky Blinders. It's not something that inherently appealed to me, but I hear people do like it a lot. What's funny about Del Toro is that like it's blasphemy to some people, but I really don't like I don't dislike it, but I couldn't get into Pan's Labyrinth, and I really dislike Shape of Water. Like I really disliked that movie. Buana, do you like candles? I have nothing against candles. You know, I don't know if I'd say I specifically like them. Del Toro doesn't also doesn't believe in child invulnerability in horror movies. Yeah, more kids should be getting killed in horror movies, and just movies in general. Kids should not be off the table. Renegade, I hated watching the two kids die in Mimic. Too brutal for my taste. I mean, it depends how much you show of it, but like, I don't think kids should just be safe because they're kids. Nothing wrong with killing a kid in a movie. It's one of the things I love about the start of Assault on Precinct 13. Like, it starts with the villains murdering a kid, fairly randomly as well. And it's like, okay, these are the bad guys. There's no question. They've set these guys up as like the worst of the worst. Cindy, I didn't like Shape of Water much when I saw it, but the book won me over. Interesting. It never justified to me why she was having sex with a fish creature. I just never, it never really hit the emotional height for me to really accept it. Johnny, the candlelight scenes in Barry Lyndon are an amazing example of lighting. I've never seen Barry Lyndon, funnily enough. I've seen a lot of Kubrick, but I've not seen Barry Lyndon. Reggae, did you see Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? I thought it was one of Del Toro's better films. That wasn't Del Toro directing, I don't think. That was Del Toro produced. I think it was it's just someone else. I couldn't tell you who it was, but is that with Mos Def? No idea. Rude Boy, if you want to watch kids die, just watch Battle Royale. Yeah, Battle Royale's pretty good. Battle Royale is pretty good. Obviously, you're not a pescatarian. Yeah, Battle Royale is good stuff. Spelltest is I watched actually. I do own it in Blu-ray though. I think I'm sure I do. Yeah, it's in the Arrow section. I own it in Blu-ray. Bruce Willis. What about Bruce Willis? Or are you asking if he was in a movie? I don't think he was in that movie, but you know, people know better than I. I don't like watching cats and dogs die. For the most part, like, don't touch the cats and dogs. Oh, you're thinking of 16 blocks, right? That's most def in Bruce Willis. That's 16 blocks. Hey Serenity, welcome to stream. If a dog dies, you might have to deal with Keanu. That is true. Keanu might come. There you go, 16 blocks. If you just said you were trying to think of a movie with Mos Def and Bruce Willis in it, I would have gotten that really quick. Be Kind Rewind. I did see that when it came out. I don't really remember much of it though, to be honest. I don't remember disliking it, but I don't remember being like in love with it either. Hmm. 16 blocks wasn't bad. Yeah, I didn't hate 16 blocks. It wasn't like an amazing thing, but it was an enjoyable enough movie. In fact, I might even own that on Blu-ray. I do. It's in the action section. I feel like ever since It came out, it's been popular to kill kids in horror movies. A development for the better. A positive development. The kids should not be safe. I stand by that. I'm a little underexposed though. Actually, I'm just realizing. I'm looking a bit dull on the camera. There you go. It's a bit better. I look more natural. Be Kind Rewind was a pretty original movie. Cindy, have you ever heard of the Mexican anthology show where Guillermo del Toro and Alfonso Cuarón got their start? Forget the name of it, but from what I remember, it was pretty good. I don't think I ever did. No. I definitely haven't seen it. I might have heard about this existing. I don't remember like knowing much about it though. Like I think I knew they both got a start and something like that, but I don't know if I ever was aware of what it was or what it was like. Makes sense though. Sounds like the sort of thing that they'd come from. Oh, close that. I got too many windows. Windows have fallen over the place. Ah, dear. Yeah, I'm being good tonight and drinking water. It's a shame Tara's not here to see my healthy improvements. But I'm drinking water. I'm trying to make the effort to get away from drinking stuff that's not good for me. As miserable as it is. Johnny, can't wait to get a reaction to the martial arts scene in Roma. There's a martial arts scene in Roma? Okay, alright. I think we're going to try and watch that this week actually. And maybe review it. I think there's a plan. Drink some maple syrup. I would probably enjoy that, to be honest, but no, I should not. Sounds like a very bad idea. Renegade, do you own the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book? I found mine last night. I don't. I have never read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I never encountered it. The first I ever heard of that was when they announced they were making a movie. I'd never heard of it before then. But I hear it was a hit with kids for a duration of time, if not from when it came out till now. I don't know. I don't know if it's still something kids get shown or whatever. Jack, I prefer Scary Stories to Tell in Broad Daylight. Is that an actual thing, or are you just cracking a joke? Or was a sequel called that? That'd be a good sequel. Oh, I can close this elsewhere document. We're done recording for the night. I don't need that anymore. The stories are pretty dark. Well, that's good. Maybe the movie will be good. I don't know. Is Del Toro directing it? I can't remember. Or is he just producing it? I forget. RS. So if Wally is the killer in Heroes in Crisis, how much do you want to bet that Jeff Johns will retroactively say he was possessed by an alien entity in, say, 10 years or so? If he gets his way, he absolutely will retcon that shit. Yeah, joking as you may be, he actually would probably do whatever he could to fix it later. Buana, did anyone else like to read Captain Underpants as a kid? Can't say I did. Creep 3 is an official thing and might be a prequel. Interesting. It's officially underway. It was a child wearing a peach fuzz mask. Okay. Where it goes off the rails. I mean, I like Creep 1 and 2. I thought Creep 2 was slightly less good, but not bad by any means. I still enjoyed a lot of it. So, hopefully a 3 can do something interesting. I'm just joking, however, a story that is scary a story that's still scary in the daytime is legit scary. There's some truth to that. I don't really find a lot of stories scary per se. I enjoy the tension of them, but I don't necessarily get the scariness itself. Now that you mention it, I really hate how they take famous directors' name and drop them super hard when they're actually producers. Happens a lot with Spielberg. Yeah, they do that a lot with certain directors, and it is kind of annoying because it does trick some people into thinking that he's directing something when really they're just producing. Like he is with Scary Stories, as per Renegade. Johnny, I read Where the Wild Things Are over and over as a kid. Got to rewatch that film as I loved it when it first came out. Spike Jonze's Gold. Yeah, I never read that book, but I did see the movie when it came out, and I liked it as well. Like, it had a really unique tone. It was really, really good. Creep 2 was definitely not as good, but better than many sequels. Yeah, Creep 2 was still solid. It didn't have the same spark of creativity that the first one did. Because the first one was a surprising movie, because it was like, it's another found footage movie, but then it ended up being quite good. So, you know. But I'm kind of disappointed Connor won't read Young Justice since he has previous knowledge of Amethyst. What a Debbie Downer. Well, he is. Yeah, he's the great ginger degrader. We've established this. The Crow 1994. Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to the stream, Crow. Renegade. What do producers actually do? Oh, that's a good question. Producers basically get the movie made. They convince people to invest in it. They might invest money themselves in it. They hire everyone. There's a reason why it's the producer who gets the best movie award specifically at the Oscars. The producers are the ones who actually kind of ensure it gets made. But yeah, so they kind of hire everyone. So even though the director is creatively the one in charge, the producer's kind of the boss of the actual production, if that makes sense. Johnny, Mulholland Drive, Winky scene, one of the scariest scenes ever. Yeah, the Winky's scene, and that is pretty tense. weird homeless dude or homeless woman out the back of it. RS will stop. It's okay, RS. It's okay if you want to keep doing Wally theories. That's okay. Rude boy. I worked on 2 seasons of a TV show, Extant, or is that Extent, which had Spielberg attached to it. I think he visited the set once a season, and it was in and out in less than 10 minutes. That doesn't surprise me. Also, I think I saw the pilot of that show, and I don't think I liked it. I think I was very negative on the pilot. That's the one with Halle Berry, right? That was on some channel. I can't remember what it was on, but I'm sure that was Halle Berry that was in that. So most producers fail at their job. Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, all the ones that you know the name of probably don't, because it's much easier to be a producer and get something made when you already have a reputation, because people will trust you. Being a producer of like being a new producer of a new unknown thing is much harder. You have to prove yourself. But once you have the credit, then it becomes a relative. Well, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's definitely easier. Jack, producers are the Nick Furies of movies. Yeah, I can see that. That's one way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a Halle Berry CBS show. Yeah, I hated that first episode, I'm sure. I think I did. What did you do on it? What was your job on the show? I didn't realise you worked on TV shows. Unless it's top secret and you can't say. But given that show was, a couple of years ago now, I feel like you probably can. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the executive producer is basically just a title and nothing else. The producer themselves is constantly like doing things. The producer themselves is constantly concerned with the with the day to day. They're always solving problems. They're always like making things work for the director and stuff like that. Um, an executive producer is basically like, you can put my name on it and pay me for the privilege. Um, an executive producer sometimes might just be as simple as they put in a good word for whatever it was in the in the boardroom. Like, they spoke, whoever was greenlighting it, they put in a good word. All right, you can have an executive producer credit because you kind of helped get it made, but you're not actually really working on it. There's a lot of reasons why someone gets an executive producer credit. In fact, one of my pet peeves is that the showrunner of a TV show is still referred to as just an executive producer, when I feel like that should really have a unique showrunner credit, but it is what it is. It's weird. So you met you met Halle Berry. People saying hello. You're an assistant prop master. You've worked on many shows and TV movies. That's cool. Prop master. So that's a really specific one as well. That's like a really specific craft. And I suppose a lot of jobs on a TV set are, because I mean, if you're a lighting or camera person, you're kind of just stuck to doing lighting and camera. If you're audio, you're in the audio department, you're kind of stuck there. But prop master feels like a really different, because prop master feels like that those skills could be applied to lots of different things. Whereas lighting and audio and stuff are always going to be on something in TV or movies or something like that. Whereas prop master, you could go and make things for something else potentially. But that's cool. And you're sharing your IMDb. That's nifty. I'm gonna have a look. Oh, I can't actually. It's making me. It's wanting me to become a IMDb Pro member. I can kind of see underneath though. You worked on the Total Recall remake? Oh, jeez. Beastly? This is a hell of a filmography. I can kind of see it under the pop-up window. Oh wait, Inception. Oh, we've got a good one. I can't go any lower than that though, because I can't click in the show more. But yeah, IMDb Pro is hiding it from me. Prop remaster reminds me of that Seinfeld with the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Tommy Gutman is your name on IMDb. wonder if I could just search for you and I'd get like a non-pro thingamajig. Oh, there you are. You're the first. Well, you're the only Tommy Gutman. Oh, here we go. That must feel nice. It says most known for Inception. That must feel pretty nice overall. Your first gig was semi-pro, and then Step Brothers. You worked on Little Fockers. Saving Mr. Banks. You worked on Agent Carter. Look at you go. Look at you go. That's actually quite... I mean, admittedly, there's a lot of stuff on there I don't like, but I'm not really blaming you as a prop master to for the quality of the writing. Oh, you worked on Scream Queens. I really like Scream Queens. That was a really fun show. Is that your dog? There's another image in here with you and a dog, I think. I assume that's your dog. Oh, the dog's in the main photo as well, actually. I just never noticed the dog. Because the image is usually really small on YouTube. There's obviously a much bigger image of it. But that's cool. That's a really interesting profession. The dog looks like your pet dog sleeping right next to you right now, Johnny. That's cool. Yeah, Scream Queens, Cindy. Scream Queens and Inception, those are the two that stuck out as being, ooh, those are fun things to work on. You actually worked on the Marvel spin-off pilot of it for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that never came out. Oh, that, yeah, I was bummed about that because I really liked Hunter and Bobby, and they got written off the show for this spin-off, and then the spin-off never get picked up, so we just had to do without those characters, and it really sucked. Because they just cancelled the other pilot they did. They didn't even make it, but they cancelled production of the all-female Marvel show that they were going to work on for ABC. So ABC's not had a good run of starting more Marvel shows. They've been kind of cancelling everything they've been trying. Jack, you're going to have to take the blame for the Total Recall remake. The movie was great for those props. But for those props. That's pretty funny. That's actually really funny. It'd be really funny if I did mention a movie you worked on, but I said, the movie was great, but those props, man, those props were terrible. Which, I mean, honestly, the thing with props is that unless it's like a really weird sci-fi thing where there's lots of like unique things, I should not notice the props. The props should just blend in and feel like they're part of the world. If I'm noticing the props, it probably means they're bad. It's kind of a thankless job in that sense because it's like audio recording. Like if it's good, I'll never mention that it was good. But if the audio recording is bad, I am going to tear it to shreds. But it's funny. You only worked in additional photography for Total Recall. The movie's not your fault. The bureaucrats of S.H.I.E.L.D. They should make a movie called The Janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or here they have a TV show. Just, when Coulson has a big shit and the toilet gets blocked, the hero in the jumpsuit comes in to clean the toilet. Janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was a show idea. That's a show idea. Oh, hey Tyler, welcome to the stream. You having technical difficulties? That's a shame. Oh, I'm just typing another message on Patreon. To Serenity, actually, because Serenity's became a patron tonight, and he's asking me some questions. And send. I just sent you a reply, Serenity, on Patreon. And thank you, by the way. Hold on, where am I? Tyler's here. Hi. The unpaid interns of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's also a good idea. The Cov Thief Boys of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, jeez. Terrible idea, Johnny. I can't get behind that. Jack, saving the world for college credit and references on the resumes. That actually might be a good show as a comedy. That might actually be a good show. Ridboy, my two most notable props are the petrified dog poo from Step Brothers and the perplexus bong from the TV show Silicon Valley. What a claim to fame. It's 5 a.m. Well, just after 5 a.m. here, Serenity. Tyler, what being entertained by the Ginger and Matt going back and forth on Endgame? What was being entertained by the Ginger and Matt going back and forth on Endgame? What? I'm confused by that question. And you have news for me? I assume this is to do with what book you're making me read this month since Hawk and Dove finished. I'm a little bit terrified to ask. And if it's not that, then I'm terrified that there's two news to get. But I'll have to look those up. That is awesome. Jack, this is some good email composition action right now. I'll do some email action. We'll do some emails. I'll tell you about what I'm putting in the CC and the forwarding and all sorts. Renegade, they did a comedy show with superhero interns. It sucked. Are you talking about Powerless? I didn't hate Powerless. I mean, I'm not surprised it got cancelled and it wasn't the best thing ever, but I didn't hate it. I think the opening title sequence was just too much fun to hate it completely. They're talking about it on Twitter. What are they talking about on Twitter? You're going to be extra nice? You and Connor can both start the event. Wait, so is Connor off? Is Connor off? Brimstone? We're both on Rick Racing. Oh God. The Ginger is entertaining. Also, Monkismo, thank you very much, for the super chat. So yes, big bold yellow box. I shall answer this question. If you had a $250 million budget to spend, what movie would you make and who would you hire as cast and director? That's a good question. So I've got $250 million budget, so I can basically make any type of movie I want. So it's just a case of, right, I'm going to assume I can get a license, because I don't know if there's like anything without a license that I would jump to $250 million for. I feel like most of the ideas that I would have for an original thing would probably be smaller, outside of a very general, like, yeah, I want a cyberpunk city, therefore it's really big budget. But assuming I can get a license and I can do a big budget movie of a thing, I would get Matthew Vaughn, who directed Kick-Ass and Kingsman and Stardust, because I think he's a really solid, entertaining director. And wait, actually, I was going to say Matthew Vaughn and like pick a superhero. However, I'm rethinking this. Because I'm thinking about this. Part of me wants to say that I would get the rights to Alien and give Neil Blomkamp back the rights to do his Alien sequel. But that's a boring answer for picking a cast, because the cast is just kind of, yeah, I want Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn and whatever. If you're wanting something a bit more like, okay, what am I doing with like my dream cast? I feel like I'd want to pick people who don't typically show up in big movies, right? I'd want to do something I'd want to do something with someone who would never show up in a normal movie. So I guess the honest answer really would be I would want a Firefly movie, and it'd be Joss Whedon with a cast of Firefly, or Serenity 2 if you want to call it that. Like I think that would be the obvious answer. Is I would say, hey, Mr. Whedon, here's $250 million. Go and make me a Firefly movie. I think that's the realest answer I can give you. If you want something more original, then it's harder to say. I would say it would certainly probably be a sci-fi movie. It would probably be something with either Matthew Vaughn, or someone like that, or someone maybe harder hitting, like a David Lynch sci-fi movie would be amazing. But I don't know if that would cost $250 million. Either that, or hear me out. I would have an underwater horror movie, and like an underwater like deep sea station, kind of like The Abyss, but it would be like a full-on horror movie, and I'd maybe put, say, who could direct that? What horror? The guy, maybe the guy, David, whatever his name is from It Follows, maybe. Yeah, yeah. The cast is hard though. What cast do you want for a horror movie? I mean, it kind of be anyone decent. Maybe like your current Scream Queens, Anya Taylor-Joy, that kind of person. I don't know. Thanks for the $10 though, Machismo. That was generous. Thanks so much. Right, where was I? Tyler, basically Connor said he won't watch the next Avengers if it's 3 hours long, and then Matt asked him why watch it at all, and it went from there. So there's a whole debate happening on Twitter that I've not seen. Stop thanking Tyler for making us read Rick Grayson. Rude boy, pocket 200 million and make a quality film with a good story. That feels disingenuous. But yes, I mean, arguably yes. I mean, I could maybe make like 5 $50 million movies. Oh, I could do 5 Firefly movies. Oh, there's an idea. Hey, Whedon, I want 5 Firefly movies. Hire Connor. Maybe at 500 million. Tyler, if Pete doesn't hire him as the PA with that budget, I'll riot. Renegade, I love Connor, but he says stupid things sometimes. Oh, he totally does. So, right, if I had that money, every comic I love would have a movie or a TV show. First up would be Aspen Comics Fathom, because I've been waiting for that since I was in high school, some 18 years ago. I like that. That's like a niche pick that most people wouldn't think of. I like that. Renegade, only when he drinks, coming from the Crow. Weird Boy, Logan's Run and They Live would be ideal movies that deserve a remake for a new audience. Well, I think they're working on a Logan's Run remake. They've been working on that for a while. I mean, I don't know if it's like getting very far, admittedly, but it's definitely been in the works. But only if they're independently made with a good budget. Major studios would ruin the premise for politics. Yeah, I love low budget sci-fi stuff and horror. Like that stuff's my jam. So right after X Factor TV show, Saga TV show, Wicked and Divine TV show. I mean, I think Saga is probably getting developed because what's his face? Brian K. Vaughan signed a big development deal with Legendary. I think you might see Saga coming up soon. Justice League Dark, Catwoman film done right. Yep, I can sympathise with that. Convince Carpenter to do it. Oh, I'm an underwater movie? I mean, yeah. I don't know if Carpenter's been good for a long time though, so I don't know. Jack, Pete, you wouldn't put that money into it, making an actual good Resident Evil. Oh. Here's the thing, Jack. I took the question to mean that I had to pick an actual director. If I was going to do that, if I was going to take $250 million and make a Resident Evil movie, I would be directing it. For as crazy and as ruining it as that might be. But yeah, I totally would. Yeah. But I would be crazy and insist on recreating the mansion so that I could do it like room for room, which would cost a fortune. $250 might not actually be enough. And no worries, Machismo. This sparked a lot of good conversation, so the double benefits. Studios ruin everything with politics now, Buana. Sometimes. I mean, it depends what it is. Alright, I know it's not Joshua Williamson's fault, but after talking about it with my brother, I'm seriously considering dropping Flash after Wally's death. I don't want to read anything involving Wally's death. I get that. I mean, it may be worth waiting until it's resolved and then seeing, or continuing until the end of Heroes in Crisis and seeing if it's stuck. But yeah, you could just drop it. Like, I'm not going to talk you into keeping it. You totally could. Sorry, I want to see the Twitter rant. I actually want to pull it up myself. I'd gotten lost behind comments when I was answering there, so I wanted to. Yeah. Serenity, I've just responded to your message on Patreon, but I can do that right now, basically, is my answer. I can do it right now while I'm talking to you guys. If you want to change to that tier. You absolutely can. I will do it right now as I'm talking to you guys. It may take me a few extra minutes because I'm sort of chatting as I'm doing it, but... where am I? Rick Grayson feels right for you two to read. I want a deep discussion. Oh god. Oh god. I hate Tyler right now. Red Boy, I've heard about Logan's Run remake for at least 10 years. Yeah, that's true. It's been a long time coming, but there has been talks of it at least. Renegade, hey Pete, what's the difference between a lawyer and God? Is this a joke? God doesn't think he's a lawyer. Oh, that's very funny. Okay, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. Jack, you can save money by remaking the mansion by making all the rooms pre-rendered backgrounds. Okay, you know what, Jack? I would love that movie. I would watch the shit out of that pre-rendered background movie, but no one else would. Maybe you would. Maybe like 2 of us would love it. Right, edit page. I'm going to edit page. That's a great idea. Tyler, an X Factor show based on David's stuff. I'd so be in. Okay, yeah, on Peter David stuff. I can see. Right, tiers. Where am I? I'm putting up a number here. So what I'll do is I will take one away from... Oh, I need to edit tiers. Okay, where are we? Right, I will edit tier. I will add a second to that one. Oh, you can connect apps to Patreon now. Interesting. Save tier. And what I will do is I will take one away from the other 2. Save tier. That's going to be funny. Connor's going to have something else to read as well. This is amusing to me. And then edit tier. Put that down to 2. Save tier. And then I think that's everything. I hope that's taken. There was no like save changes at the top. Let me just scroll down and find out. Oh, yeah, it's changed. So you can change it now, Serenity. You should be able to just go to change tier and pick the other one. Where was I? Crow, Pete, what about making a good DC movie? That's a really obvious path to go down, is to try and make a good DC movie. The funny thing is, though, is that I wouldn't want to make a Batman movie. I'd maybe want to make a Superman movie. And it's not that I don't love Batman and don't think there could be more good Batman movies. It's just because there's already been some good Batman movies. There's more things we could be doing. Like a good Flash movie or a good Green Lantern movie. Good, you know, Birds of Prey. Well, I mean, Birds of Prey might be good, but I'm still a bit upset that there's no Barbara Gordon in it. RS, maybe I read it in my library. Maybe I read it. My library gets the trades. I don't have to give DC money. Yeah, you could do that. You could, because I think you can request the trades at your library as well. They'll order books for you. At least most libraries do. Red Boy, I just wanted to say that my choice between watching the new Flash episode that aired an hour ago and being here was a no-brainer. I didn't hesitate. I'm not surprised you didn't hesitate. The Flash has been interesting this season. It's had some funny moments, but the last few episodes have been a bit rough. Again, not having watched this week's. This week's could have been a delight. Who knows? Tyler, the real question is who will hate it more, Pete or Connor? I think we'll be fighting over that one. We'll be fighting for that title. Very good. I heard someone say that Dylan O'Brien would make a good Robin. What do you think? Dylan O'Brien. I'm going to Google that name because I'm trying to think of a Dylan O'Brien and I'm not thinking of someone. So let's go have a look. Dylan O'Brien. Oh yeah, I know this face. I could see him being Tim. I could see him being a Tim Drake. He's not a Dick Grayson. I could see him being a Tim Drake though. Tyler, I want an American Vampire show honestly. Yeah, I think that'll happen. I think an American Vampire TV show would work really well. Especially if they nail the atmosphere of it. RS, if the Azarello Suicide Squad rumours are true, I really don't know what to do. Normally I wouldn't buy anything with Wally, but I'm afraid that Waller will blow up his head and it will be a depressing mess. Well, I mean, that was a Black Label book, right? Which is not in continuity, so even if it's true that Wally's on that Suicide Squad, it's not in continuity. So even if he gets killed in that book, it's not in continuity. I mean, it's all depressing. I mean, I'm not a big Suicide Squad guy. Like, I'm not against the idea, but I've yet to read a Suicide Squad book that's actually made me want to keep reading it. But you know, Buana, I think Connor will love the deep story of Rick Grayson. Also, the art screams Pete. So I don't know though. Question who will like it more. Oh, Buana, you're playing with fire. Tyler, how was Arrow so good this week compared to normal at least? Arrow was good this week? I've not seen it yet. Me and Connor are watching Arrow and Flash together tomorrow, with him getting drunk. In fact, I think we're doing it after he gets drunk watching Batman and Robin, because we're reviewing. I think we're recording the review for that tomorrow, because March is Batman month, and we're doing lots of Batman movies, and we're recording them in advance. We've already done the first 3. Isn't that fun? I'm gonna get Twitter up. I want to see this fight. The Crow, Connor would make a fantastic Flash. But because he's ginger? Let me see. Let me scroll down. How long ago was the last comment between these two? I want to see this Matt Connor fight. Wait, I'm doing like a day ago. It wasn't that long ago. Buana, if you had to cast yourself, Peter is my name, yes. Connor, Connor and Matt in a DC movie, who would it be? Oh god, I don't think we're suited for most characters in DC. Connor, maybe Jimmy Olsen. Matt Bibble, who owns the Superman friendly bar, and then me. I don't know. I have no idea what I'd cast myself as in DC. RS, despite a few things I didn't care for, the only thing of Azarello's I kind of liked was the New 52 Wonder Woman. Now I think of it as an Elseworld story since it's no longer canon. Yeah, it's very separate. I liked his Joker graphic novel with Behermo art. I'm probably butchering his name. Matt would make a great Solomon Grundy. Okay, with a bit of visual effects, I can see it. Tyler, I'm going to bug Matt on Twitter about the Batman mask. If Chris Pratt can get in shape for a role, then so can you. That's a good point. Still, though, I feel like there's not a lot of like superheroes with my hairline. I'd maybe have to be like Lex Luthor or something, just so I could shave the rest of my head and be bald. You can always play an Azrael inspired god. There you go. There you go. Too true. I'm going to search for one of these two idiots. Right, there's Matt. Tweets. Here's this thread here. Oh, this is a long thread. Matt's calling the bluff. Alden's calling the bluff. I actively dislike the last one. I just don't have it in me to sit through 3 hours of more of it without being able to stop and do something else. Yeah. Basically, Connor's been a negative Nancy about the new Avengers, and Matt's kind of calling him on it. It's a whole thing. Now I know how Peter feels when we talk about Star Wars. Yes, Matt. Feel it. Well. Oh, what's this over here? Ah, dear. Where was I? Post on the screen. Wait, why don't we put the Twitter conversation on the screen? It's kind of a long column. It's not easy to fit. I kind of read all the highlights, though. That was basically it. Chris Hemsworth wears a wig for Thor. Oh, sure, yeah, but he's, this is the long hair. I wouldn't want to wear a wig. I'd feel weird wearing a wig. I'm good. Car would probably be better for Red Tornado. Rude boy, Peter could be a local townsperson in Jonah Hex. Just switch to round glasses and throw on a derby hat. Yeah, okay, I can see it. Jack, it always bugs me when people get called out for getting in shape for movies. Pay me millions of bucks and make my one job getting fit, and I'll impress everyone too. This is true. If my entire income revolved around me doing that, and also you would have the time to do it because you'd have like prep time for the movie, so that's what you'd be focusing on for months, I think. Peter can be Poseidon, a giant squid creature, and Connor can be Hades, a child with candles everywhere. Connor being negative? No way. That's a quality comment from Tyler. That's a quality comment. Does Connor like anything other than Star Wars? He likes Doctor Who. He likes Doctor Who's the best one. I mean, he likes DC, obviously, but he can be critical of things within DC. He loves the comic book writer Kieran Gillen. He loves like Lord of the Rings. He likes a lot. He loves Dragon Age, the video game franchise. He's kind of like obsessed with that. RS, have you read the Flash Speed Buggy crossover? I'm not normally a Scott Lobdell fan. Oh jeez, you've lost me already. But he wrote Wally and Linda as though they got back together, and she's aware of Flashpoint. I know it's not canon, but I'll take it over Heroes in Crisis. I never did read that, no. I guarantee you the reason why I didn't was probably because I saw Scott Lobdell's name on it and said nope and ran the other way. Is most likely. Mako's here. Welcome, Mako. I had to come in when we talk about the ginger. Just my luck. Everyone's complaining about Connor because he was being negative on Twitter. So, that's what it is. Jack, not only would you have the time to get in shape, but they'd have a nutritionist and personal trainer for you. Yeah, typically they do, yeah. For actors who are getting in shape. I'll give Christian Bale credit, though, because Christian Bale goes nuts with it. Like, Christian Bale goes from being really skinny and unhealthy to being really fat and unhealthy. Like, between movies. It's quite impressive what he does. Tyler, he does like Lord of the Rings. That's the one thing Peter is wrong about. No, I think you'll find I'm right about Lord of the Rings. It's everyone else is wrong. Thank you very much. Oh, he loves his Switch. That's right. On 1080-bit, we literally can't have a conversation about sales figures without Connor turning it into the Switch is doing great. Let's talk about how great the Switch is. The Switch is breaking all sorts of records. The Switch is the best thing ever. And I'm like, shut up. I don't care about the Switch. Stupid plumbers and Zeldas. The Crow Connor also likes Molly Ringwald movies. That is true. He did rate a lot of movies very highly on his top films of the 80s from John Hughes, all of which may have starred Molly Ringwald. Right again, no, I'm complaining about him whining about 3 hours when Lord of the Rings is 5 days long. That's true. I think Connor's argument though is that he doesn't like the Avengers movies that much to want to sit through 3 hours of it. Not that I necessarily agree with them. I'm just trying to translate his ramblings into a reasonable, understandable statement. To quote Sidney Prescott in Scream 4, or Scriforum as the kids call it, consider this an alternate ending. Sorry, oh, the game Switch. I had no idea what you were talking about at first. Yeah, the gaming console. Cindy, Pretty in Pink is a great movie though. I've never seen it, admittedly. It's just funny making fun of Connor's picks when he has like 3 John Hughes movies in the top 10, and he doesn't like Back to the Future, or lots of other big 80s movies that most people tend to love. Rude Boy, best thing about 16 Candles was Anthony Michael Hall, not Molly Ringwald. I mean, you know, both ginger. Basically interchangeable, right? That's not true at all. Ginger men are all interchangeable. Red-headed ladies are not interchangeable at all. That's the rules. RS, I'm also saving Nightwing New World Order for a rainy day. Alright, sure, yeah. That's an okay book. I mean, that book had a really weird concept for me where it starts off by saying that Dick willingly helped murder, like, most of the superheroes, which is really weird. Oh, my leg's asleep. My leg's asleep. Oh, dear. I mean, I really like Breakfast Club. So, I mean, I do like, and I like movies that John Hughes has worked on that he didn't direct, like Home Alone. So, Master of Universe was also sadly lacking from the 80s list. Oh, come on. I don't think either of us have seen it. I've never even seen the He-Man cartoon. Mako, the Back to the Future 16 Candles logic is where one is bad and the other is one of the 80s most best movies will be a mystery for the ages. Yeah, the meta bit Back to the Future is the weird part. Like, if he likes John Hughes movies, he likes John Hughes movies. That's fine. Oh, and Serenity, I can confirm that you've upped your tier. So you're going to have to messages what oh, you've already done it actually. You've already done it. Just let me just Google that book and make sure it's obvious what that is, just in case there's multiple versions of it. Because you've specified 1963 for my book. So I'm just going to go to Comixology and type in that book and see if it's obvious. Yeah, because there's a 2017 Generation X. Is that the one you mean, Serenity? And if you're already left, I'll just ask you on Patreon later. But since you're probably still here, it makes sense to ask. In fact, you've got a comment coming up on. Where am I? Yes, you like Pretty in Pink, Master Universe, Back to the Future, John Hughes. What else was on Connor's list? Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. Would it be too cheeky just to link the videos so you can go and watch them later? There's actually a text list on the screen at the end of it if you wanted to just read the results. On part 2 of it. 1994 Generation X. Okay, cool. Thanks, Serenity. That makes it easy to find, I think. Series. Oh, here it is. Yeah, 1994. Right, cool. Easy peasy. Oh, don't put that down. Put that there. Put that there. There we go. Dolph Lundgren's mullet's amazing. I imagine it is. It probably is. I might like that movie because of how stupid it sounds, but not because it's good. Alright, I don't think Dick murdered them. He used one of Bruce's contingency plans to depower them and lock them up in stasis because he was bitter at Superman for killing Bruce while on mind control. A lot of the heroes do die. I mean, it's been like 2 years since it came out, so I can't remember the exact details, but there was definitely deaths that day. Some people did die that day. But not necessarily all of them, admittedly. I had a hard time buying Dick would do it because of whatever it was, but it has been a while now. You could be right. Rude Boy, what is the most famous movie or franchise that you've never seen? Yours is Jurassic Park, you've never seen any of them. That's a good question. Medea? I've never seen any of those. I'm trying to think. Oh no, we can get a hold of them, Serenity. Not to worry. Comixology is a handy thing. We can get the books. Don't worry. The price of the tier kind of incorporates the price of buying the issues. We're good. I'd never heard of Medea until I was like 25. Those movies don't get released here at all. I had never seen one, like even advertised. I don't know. I can't think of any other franchises. I mean, I've seen Jurassic Park, I've seen Back to the Future, I've seen some James Bond, I've seen Lord of the Rings, I've seen Godzilla movies, I've seen I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Medea movies are unwatchable. That's not surprising. They looked unwatchable. I'm trying to think. I don't know why I'm looking up at my shelves. Pete's never seen any of the famed Sharknado franchise. I've seen like half of the first one. So I've kind of seen some of Sharknado. Oh, Twilight. I've never seen any of the Twilight movies. There you go. That's an answer. I've never seen Twilight. Your nephew liked Medea movies when he was little, Cindy. So anyway, you're black and from the south, so you grew up in Medea long before Tyler started making them into movies. First one I saw was in 2002. Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't know it was a character that existed before that. Did he do it on like a sketch show or something like that, or was it a Medea TV show or something like that? That was popular there. I can get that. You never seen 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight, Mako? Yeah, I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey either. I guess that didn't spring to mind when I was thinking of popular franchises. I think I was looking for something that was maybe like something that you would think I have seen. Whereas I feel like you don't expect me to have seen Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey. Which I haven't. Buana, you've never seen Die Hard. Add it to the list. You should watch Die Hard. You should watch Die Hard so you can see when action movies didn't have to be about saving the whole planet. Yeah, I agree with that. I also liked that it was, not a sequel or anything like that. I mean, it was technically based on a book, but, Die Hard's just such a great movie. The Crow, you've never seen any of the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, mostly just because friends, dragged me to them. I didn't really care that much about them, admittedly. I saw the first Fantastic Beasts and was just kind of... It was okay, it was fine, but... I had no interest in seeing the second one. I actually saw the Medea Halloween movies out of curiosity. Morbid curiosity at that. You just found the idea of Tyler Perry being in drag, chased by apparently zombies in the trailer funny. Tyler, not seeing Die Hard needs to be remedied immediately. Yeah, Die Hard's like a coming of age, I think. You kind of need to see Die Hard. They're not unwatchable, just not for everyone. You got to be into the culture. My ex 100% Chinese, born and raised in Guangzhou. Guangzhou? I mean, I'm probably mispronouncing that. And he and a lot of Chinese love the Medea films. Okay. Interesting. Very good. You've not seen 50 Shades of Grey either, nor will I ever. 50 Shades of Grey, there's a much better version of a very similar story called Secretary, starring Maggie Gyllenhaal from 2002, or 2003 maybe. It's a really good movie. The character's even called Mr. Grey, which is really weird. But it's a fantastic movie about discovering that you've got a kink, basically. But it's a really good movie. I highly recommend Secretary, assuming you're an adult. Don't show it to any kids. Tyler, it's the second best Christmas movie after Jingle All the Way. I would rank Die Hard higher than Jingle All the Way, but I do have an unhealthy enjoyment in Jingle All the Way, admittedly. Rude Boy, I saw Die Hard in the theatre as a kid, and I was literally on the edge of my seat with goosebumps for the entire film. Die Hard came out the year before I was born, so I never saw it in the theatre. I saw the fourth one and the fifth one in the theatre. The fourth one wasn't terrible, and the fifth one was like absolute garbage and made me like angry. Cindy, I read the first 50 Shades of Grey book last week. It was insane. Well, it started off as Twilight fan fiction, I believe, and then became a real book. So I have to imagine the writing quality is questionable. Renegade's seen the Twilight movies. That's pretty funny. Serenity, the Medea character, appeared in the first in plays Tyler himself produced and wrote. Part gospel musical, part comedy with life lessons. All the movies were plays first, and then they adapted them for the film. Okay. Have you seen Taken? I have seen Taken. I haven't seen any of the sequels, but I've seen Taken. And to this day, I'm annoyed that Taken 2 wasn't called Taken 2 The Max. That really bugs me. You've got such a good opportunity for a pun. Mako, I've seen Secretary 2002 with James Spader and Maggie Gyllenhaal, which is an overlooked movie about dominant, submissive... yeah, no, it is. It's fantastic. I really like that movie. I saw that movie probably a year or two after it came out, so I was probably a little bit too young, to be honest, but I liked it a lot anyway. It was really good. So it's a great character study of a movie about unconventional romance. Yeah, Rude Boy's seen it. Yep. It's good stuff. The reason why I brought it up when I was talking about 50 Shades of Grey is because I watched that again after 50 Shades of Grey became a thing with some friends. I was like, oh, Secretary's a good movie, let me show you Secretary, because, you know, me showing movies to friends because I'm more of the movie buff in the group is a normal thing. And we were watching the movie, and it got to the part, because I didn't remember that his name was Mr. Grey, and he said his name was Mr. Grey, and I damn near spat my drink out, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that book was ripping off everything. But hey. I thought about the same thing, Mako. Cool. Peter needs to rewatch Big Trouble in Little China soon. I do need to rewatch that. I've only seen it once, and I liked it, but I don't have the same love for it that everyone else does. So I should rewatch that soon. Tyler, I don't think Bruce Willis has any good performances left in him. That may be true. He might be done. But once upon a time, he was a really good, charismatic actor. So I will cherish things like Die Hard and Unbreakable and some other stuff. Renegade, I have a friend who thinks 50 Shades of Grey is a great love story. I still look at her funny. Yeah, nothing says romance than making your loved one sign a contract just because you want to make sure you've got consent on paper. Sheldon, welcome to the stream. Jack, Cindy Danielson on the channel Folding Ideas has like a 3 or 4 part video series dissecting the whole 50 Shades franchise. It's kind of amazing. Oh, interesting. Buana, what's all this hubbub about Liam Neeson? Do you know, I never saw this at first. I just saw like a tweet today saying that he said something really racist. And he's been trying to apologize for it, but I've not seen what he actually said. I have no idea like how bad it was or whatever. And it's a shame, like because I do like Liam Neeson typically, so it kind of sucks if he's said something really, really stupid. Sheldon, oh yeah, they were going to kill Medea. Serenity. I think Taken to the Mat is 280s, or the Max is what I said. It is kind of cheesy, but that's why I liked it. I wanted them to add to the Max at the end of the title. The Crow, Die Hard 1 and 2 are among the best action movies of all time. I actually like Die Hard with a Vengeance more than 2. I think with a Vengeance is pretty good. The ending's a little bit weak, but I think it's a better movie overall. Nothing's touching Die Hard 1 though. Die Hard 1's fantastic. What interview? I don't know what interview it was. I heard this in passing that Liam Neeson said something stupid racist. His charisma was back in his hair, like Samson. When he lost his hair, his acting ability went too. I would agree with that if it wasn't for Unbreakable, because I really like Unbreakable, and I think he's perfectly fine in that movie. So, I will agree only to a point. I think he was fine for a while at first. You like Dom videos on 50 Shades of Grey. I'll approve this renegade comment. Clearly, it's blocking it because it's talking about some pretty stuff. Neeson said years ago a friend told him she had been raped by a black guy and she wanted to kill black men, and that he wanted to kill black men for it. Yeah, that's pretty severe, actually. I may have to read more about this later, but that does not sound good from a passing sentence. Tyler, what did you think about the other Marvel directors saying they won't do Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I saw Taika Waititi saying that. I think it's interesting. Who else has said it though? I haven't seen anyone else though. I haven't been paying attention though, admittedly. Red Boy, if Taken 2 was called Taken to the Max, it would need to involve the cast of Saved by the Bell. Oh, that's a dated reference, and I'm a little upset with myself that I got that. Cindy, I've seen the Dawn videos, actually the reason why I read the book. Cool. Mako, my favourite Die Hard was the one with Jeremy Irons. Was that 3? Well, they robbed Fort Knox. That was 3, yeah, that's with a Vengeance. I like that one a lot. Every time I watch Die Hard with a Vengeance, I end up humming that tune, which I don't think is from Die Hard with a Vengeance. I mean, it isn't Die Hard with a Vengeance, but I think it's an original tune, you know, the dun 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 dun. It's not from that movie, but it's used in that movie. I always end up humming that for ages after I see that movie. Die Hard with a Vengeance is a fun one. You can kind of tell it wasn't a Die Hard movie, though, originally. It was a script called Simon Says that they then turned into a Die Hard film. Yes, RS, I think the idea for Super Son's story is a parody of Taken, where Dick is kidnapped, but Bruce is on JLA mission off planet, so Damien has to go and get him back to himself. And John tags along. Okay. Is this how we fix Dick? Is this how we fix Dick? David, welcome to the stream. Sup, B-words. You can say bitches. I'll let that through. Sheldon, Saved by the Bell was a good show. So right, long story, but this is what happened with Neeson. His friend was raped by a black guy, and he walked around town with a Kosh for 2 weeks, waiting for any black bastard, end quote, to approach him. Yeah, that does not sound good. What I'm reading from these quotes does not sound good. Like, that's not even like a slip of something stupid. That's like he was walking around with the intention of harming someone. That does not sound good at all. Renegade, I really like Live 3 or Die Hard. Die Hard 4 was, I mean, I liked it well enough at the time. I don't know if it holds up. I remember it being a bit over the top compared to the previous entries, but it's certainly no Die Hard 5. Die Hard, you know, A Good Day to Die Hard was absolute garbage. That was when Johnny comes marching home. There you go. Someone knows what I'm saying. Rude Boy, you don't think Neeson's comment was him saying that he was him? You think his comment was him saying that he admits that his knee-jerk reaction to his friend being raped was racist? It wasn't a racist comment in and of itself. It was him admitting that he's human. I can kind of see that. Like, I think what he was saying that he felt was a really extreme way of saying it, though. Just from what I'm hearing here. Like, I think there's maybe better ways to phrase it than what he said, but I get what you mean though. He's admitting in hindsight that his reaction was the wrong reaction. I don't know if saying that in an interview was maybe the best way, especially with that the way it sounds like he phrased it. Tyler, whichever Die Hard had Jai Courtney in it was the awful one. Yeah, that was the 5th one, Tyler. That was the 5th one. God awful. Mako. I hum the tune when they go inside with the bulldozers and steal the gold bars. Yeah, that's the tune. That's the tune I'm talking about. David, did you enjoy my hoodie pic on Twitter? I did. There was you were modeling DC Universe Rebirth issue 1, and you had the hoodie on. I did not approve the Red Hood trade up in the shelf, admittedly, but it was nice to see all the same. Sheldon, the Dom is his name, not that he's a dominatrix. That must be misconstrued, so I had to clarify. Yeah, I thought you meant it was a dominatrix thing. Yeah, I'll be honest. Given that we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey, I thought that's what you were meant to be saying. Buana, I get if you wanted justice, but that is hard. Yes. Renegade, I understand being hurt and angry about what happened to his friend, but to walk around like that is very bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Dom does book to movie reviews. Okay, that's cool. Forget Jesus. Zach Morris committed the sins of being a douche, so I never had to learn to not judge people by who they by poor, in a wheelchair, blind, short, etc. RS, I just think it would be hilarious if Damien gave the "I have a very particular set of skills" speech. I agree. I think Damian Wayne saying that speech would be quite funny. Cindy, you think he was talking about the revenge fantasy of his movies, but what a dumb thing to say when promoting one of them. Yeah, it was a stupid place and time to say something like that, and I would have certainly rethought how he said it. Again, going from what I've read in the chat here, I like that was a really bad way of phrasing it, I think. Mako, I stopped caring about what these people say when Mel Gibson went insane. I just focus on their art. If they did something illegal, they need to go to jail, but otherwise I don't care. I kind of get that. I mean, it's sad because they are kind of role models for people, right? They're in the public eye, so there is a desire to want them to be good role models. And if you like someone, like, you typically assume you would like them as well until they prove otherwise. So I think it's just kind of a shame. It doesn't necessarily ruin their movies for me. I like, for example, Kevin Spacey. I don't think I can watch Seven again, but at the same time, I don't know if I can watch American Beauty now. I don't know if I can enjoy American Beauty the same way because the subject is so close to the sort of things that he was involved in. But all of his other movies, you know, K-Pax, Seven, you know, Baby Driver, whatever. Like, I don't think those are affected that much, at least not for me. Serenity, you don't feel that Reeson is racist. He was a person in pain and anger, as many times as I've been harassed by white cops. Physically, I'm wary of white people, but I don't do weapons. Hashtag pacifist. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any great insightful comment response to that, but yeah. Crow 1994. Guess we're all in agreement. Die Hard 1, 2, and 3 were good. The other 2 were bad. Well, Renegade said she liked 4, but yeah. Tyler, you need to watch the black and white version of Fury Road. So good. I could see that. I could see, yeah. Well, I think that would fix the day to night shots, because there's one scene at night time that I thought looked kind of weird, you know, in the movie. But I can see how the black and white would fix that. The Chrome edition. Zach got accepted to Harvard at the end, so he couldn't be all bad. Ah, that's TV logic. Mako, never meet your heroes. Yeah, I mean, there's being human, and then there's being a shithead. Like, you know. Rude Boy. Meanwhile, these same people who think Neeson's comment is racist will give Roman Polanski a standing ovation. Yeah, I don't agree with the standing ovation for Roman Polanski either, for the record. That gif of them all giving him a standing ovation is yeah, no. I do not approve of that. I mean, I do quite like his old film Repulsion, so I can kind of separate him from his art to a point, but no, he raped an underage girl. There's no getting around that. Yeah, it was fake Harvard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. RS, to get rid of Rick, Damien should just grab Dick and put him, and while he's at it, Roy and Wally, in a Lazarus pit and fix this mess. I don't know if that would work, but yeah, I'm all for trying it. Renegade, that happened to me with Johnny Depp when he turned into a horrible man. It's weird to say that I was lucky that I never liked Johnny Depp anyway, because like obviously what someone does in real life is far more important than me just disliking someone. But it's an odd sense of relief when someone I didn't like turned out to be an asshole, because it's like, well, at least I'm not upset about it, which is, you know, the lowest thing in the list of like things that matter. Who cares what if I feel like the person, if I'm disappointed that someone I like turned out to be an asshole, that is the furthest thing that matters, really, depending on what someone did. Where are we? It was fake Stanford, not fake Harvard. Jack, I actually think different when actors cross the line versus when directors and writers do, because I feel like personal convictions bleed into works more with those than actors. Yeah, I can see that, because they're actually driving the force of the story more than the actors are, usually. Yeah, no, I get what your reasoning is there. Well, actually, I I never liked Jeepers Creepers anyway, but when I found out the director was a convicted paedophile, I just kind of didn't watch the second one or the third one because of who he is. I didn't like the first one that much anyway, so I wasn't like missing out on something I cared about. But like once I knew about that about the director, I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm good. And it's worth mentioning, all the Polanski films I've seen, I'm pretty sure I saw them before I knew what he'd done. I used to think I did. I might have seen Rosemary's Baby afterwards, because that was a bit later compared to the others that I've seen. Sean, did you hear about the rapper 21 Savage, who is a UK citizen that was living in America legally and finally got caught in the memes are so hilarious on Twitter? I did not hear about this, no. That's weird. If he's a successful rapper, you think he'd have a decent, you know, he wouldn't necessarily have to do it illegally. He could just. I assume it's easier to get a visa if you're making money, especially if you're going to make money in the US. He's getting deported now. But Lazarus Pit equals Jason Todd, so I agree. Jason Todd's the worst. Maybe this is a bad idea. David, I'm just glad that Keanu Reeves and Tom Hanks are untouchable good people. For now, they seem like lovely people. For now, we'll wait and see. Yeah. Oh, you've heard Tom Hanks is kind of a jerk. I've not seen any of that, Renegade, but fair enough. Keanu is basically a saint. He has so much bad luck in his life, but he is basically a saint. You hear Ellen is a jerk too. You know, The Pianist and Rosemary's Babies are Polanski's best. I have seen both of those. I like Rosemary's Baby more than Pianist. I think I like Repulsion the most, though. I liked how sort of down and dirty that was as a thriller. William, welcome to the stream. And you popped in to talk about Chris Benoit. Jeez. Chris Benoit is my favourite wrestler for years, so I know something about being disappointed by celebrities. Yeah, that's a big one. He was not my favourite by any means at the time, but I liked him well enough. So the end of his life was quite a shocking ending. Mako, do you think that Marvel made a huge mistake by letting go of James Gunn because of political pressure? With him and Reeves making DC movies, I can see the tide turning. I don't need Marvel to fail, but I would like DC to get better. Does Marvel regret it? Well, it's not Marvel, funnily enough. It's specifically Disney, because all the buzz at the time was that it wasn't like Feige didn't want to do it. It was Disney, the higher-ups at Disney, who ordered it down the list. And Disney's big enough and corporate enough that I don't think they care. I feel like Marvel Studios themselves probably didn't want to do it, and Disney forced it. So they probably all regretted it from the first second, because I don't think they wanted to do it. The James Gunn one's weird though, because it was this weird thing where it was actually right-wing people who were trying to like use Twitter against someone that had been outspoken against extreme right-wing politics. And Disney just reacted immediately and took him off the movie. And at first I thought what he said was terrible as well, and I still do. But then it turned out that he'd already like apologized for it and had already tried to explain, and said, yeah, his sense of humor's gotten better and whatever. It felt kind of weird because it was like he'd apologized for it repeatedly, and it was like he's not done this in years. Should he not be like? Should this not be an example of someone growing and getting better? So ultimately, I think it was the bad choice, but I don't think his career's hurting for it. So, yeah. Where was I? Renegade. I have Chris Pratt, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Rami Malek, who are great, so I'm good. For now, Renegade. For now. Sorry, if I don't watch films from these folks anyway, Neeson, Gibson, etc. If something comes out about Nolan, Gyllenhaal, and Matt Damon, I wouldn't be surprised. Mel Gibson's a frustrating one because I actually really like a lot of Mel Gibson movies. He's a very charismatic actor, in his prime, and he's a pretty good director as well. So, it's annoying how good he is because he has a bit of a shithead. Mako, I love Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen's dead. Unless we're thinking of something different. But Leslie Nielsen, I'm pretty sure, is dead. Buana, unless that was a joke, in which case, fair enough. Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio are huge hypocrites. Okay. Rude Boy, I worked on a Tom Hanks film, and he's good to the crew. He even makes a point to talk to the extras. He hires a massage staff for the crew to take massage breaks. Yeah, Tom Hanks seems like a nice dude. That sounds like he's a nice dude as well. That's nice to hear. Alright, having seen Roman Polanski's Macbeth, there's a scene where a kid is naked, and this made me very uncomfortable because you knew what he'd done before the movie in high school. Yeah, see when it's stuff like that, where it feels like the thing is bleeding into the movie itself, then it becomes really uncomfortable. Like, really uncomfortable. Yeah, it just is. Sheldon, so he's been in the US since he was 12, so he's been in America illegally for 13 years, and the biggest joke he has been to jail already. So they actually put him in jail and didn't realise that he was there illegally. I feel like that's something they should probably check when they put them in the prison system. Maybe I'm being ridiculous with that statement. Renegade, Rude Boy, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, it is. Sheldon should have put a non-compete in his contract for like 5 years after he's done with Marvel. Yeah. You mean Marvel should have done that? I don't think Marvel can if they're firing him, because if that was never in his contract before, or if they can, he could probably dispute that more probably if that was the case. The reason why he probably went fairly quietly and didn't really make that too much of a fuss is probably because it was like, I'll accept this as punishment for something I said a long time ago, but I think if they tried to mess with his career, he probably would have fought more. I would assume. Mako, he's dead, but they might make a documentary about what he did when he was alive and ruin my opinion of him. You never know. That's true, that can happen. That happened with someone in the UK, actually. There was a really horrible case of this with an entertainer, a TV presenter called Jimmy Savile, who, after he died, turned out he was a massive paedophile and had assaulted, like, possibly hundreds of people while he was at his prime. And the big conspiracy was that a lot of people in power seemed to maybe have an idea he was doing something and never did anything about it. There was all sorts of creepy stories about him after he died. Well, so the worst part about it is no one could get any justice because he was already gone. It was a really big. He did a lot of kids' TV shows. He did a lot of stuff that makes it especially creepy. So it happens, unfortunately. Bob Kane get a good knockdown to make his point with Bill Finger. Yeah, I mean, Bob Kane got a bit of a worse rep after he died. It wasn't anything as bad as what I'm talking about there, though. But yeah, like, Colin Farrell's another one that I love. That's great. He sent me a picture when I wrote him. Oh, that's nice, Renegade. Cindy, has anything bad come out about John Candy? He was my favourite comedic actor growing up, and I still love his movies. Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything bad about John Candy. I like a couple of John Candy movies. He's a fun guy. I knew him first in Home Alone, most probably, but I watched Uncle Buck as a kid and a couple other things. Raresh, you would love Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but considering that their storylines have been mostly wrapped up, I don't need it, but I would like it if it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Disney's promising that it'll happen. Chris Pratt, I think, the other day said it was definitely going to happen. They're just looking for a director, I think. They're claiming they're still going to use They're still going to use gun script though, so we'll see if they stick to that. Always put non-competes in specialized careers so that person can never come for you or your company with a vengeance for being fired. True. Mr. Rogers is a saint. Did you watch the documentary yet? No, I've not seen the documentary. This is the thing. I have no attachment to Mr. Rogers. I never heard of him until they were making movies about him. He wasn't a thing growing up. So, you know, it just wasn't a thing for us growing up. I need to take a drink. Time is flying by the way. Dick Van Dyke is all smells. He's all smells. He's got bodies in his backyard that he's been killing for years, but he's all smells. Oh, pardon me. Fassbender had false accusations against him that have been proven fake, but it still follows him. Yeah, that's unfortunate when that happens. But you can't. Like, some people are ready to just assume things are false, and that's the wrong attitude to have. I think if there's a false accusation, you punish the accuser swiftly when it becomes clear it's false. But I don't think you can jump to conclusions. You have to accept accusations as they come, and look into them properly. Who did I have growing up? I mean, Teletubbies was a thing here. I'm too old for Teletubbies though. I was already too old. I was already a little bit too old for Teletubbies when that became a thing. I don't know who I had growing up. I don't know if I had an equivalent to Mr. Rogers. RS, if they make a Nova movie for the MCU, do you think they would make Sam Alexander Richard Rider's son in that universe, like Star-Lord and Ego? Yeah, maybe. I don't know a whole lot about Nova Corps, to be honest, though. I'm probably the wrong person to ask questions about Nova movies. I kind of just look at the Nova Corps as Marvel's weak version of the Green Lantern Corps, to be honest. That's kind of my attitude. Jack, Fassbender is also followed around by Alien Covenant. Yes. You blow, I'll do the fingering. God damn it, Alien Covenant. I hate that movie so much. Oh my god. And after Prometheus, I tried... I tried... Well, I was too old to watch Teletubbies. Teletubbies was around, but I was already too old to care about it. Cliche question to move on to a later topic. Who do you think will die in Infinity War Part 2? Really not a comic book die. I mean, if they're going to kill Tony Stark, now's the time. I think Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are the obvious ones, right? That's the two that everyone's expecting them to kill off. I could definitely see Hawkeye getting killed off. Black Widow's safe because she's getting a movie. But you're looking at the original Avengers, I think. I would have guessed Nick Fury, but Nick Fury's in... Well, that said, though, there is a theory that Nick Fury in Spider-Man trailer is actually Mysterio playing tricks. So, maybe Nick Fury does die in Avengers Endgame. I don't know. Sheldon, I loved Barney when I was young. My dad followed this lady into the supermarket because I thought it was Barney because she was all purple, all in purple. Barney was around as a kid. I never really watched much Barney though. I don't know. I watched like Tom and Jerry. I watched Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was a big one actually. Scooby-Doo was a big thing. Blowing and fingering is a good combination. Not an Alien Covenant, it's not. It's a big that's what she said kind of thing. Yeah. RS, it's after 1 AM. I'm going to bed. As always, this has been good fun. No worries, RS. Good night. Have a good sleep. See you next time. Very good. I was watching stuff like DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, so on. Cindy, I don't like Steve Rogers, but Tony Stark, sad face. Hawkeye's going to turn to Ronin. Well, he is for Endgame, but I can still see him dying by the end of the movie. You're expecting Thor to die for some reason, RS? Renegade, rather, not RS. It's because I read Cindy saying by RS in the next line. My mind merged them together. Jack, Renegade, I love those cartoons, as I did Tailspin. I'd add Tailspin to that. Mako, I can see Robert Downey Jr. surviving and being the mentor in Marvel. In his vision in Ultron, Captain America's shield was broken, so maybe he's the one who really dies. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Sheldon, you prefer Steve to Tony. I think that's fair. I think I like Iron Man more for the action, but yeah, I think Captain America's a better character. And I would never have said that after the first movie, because I hated the first movie. But Winter Soldier onwards is really good. And I've read some comics now since then, and I think Cap's a better character. I actually don't like Iron Man in comics that much. Like, every time I try an Iron Man comic, I just don't like it. You hope Pepper Potts kicks the bucket. Red Boy, this time slot for your show is perfect for me here on the West Coast, 8 PM. Yeah, well, that's why we do a late one. It's just for other time zones. Obviously, the East Coast would love one, like, probably 2 or 3 hours earlier. But unfortunately, that's just the time that me and Connor tend to be recording stuff. So, it's just not possible. David, eventually all the contracts run out, and all the characters will be retired. The question is, how far down the tier are we going before the MCU calls it quits and reboots? Well, they're getting X-Men and Fantastic Four, so that basically rejuvenates the entire thing for like another 10 years. Maybe 15. So, I think it'll be fine. Renegade, I think Steve will survive and retire. Bucky will become Captain America. Yeah, I can see Bucky becoming Captain America. I feel like Sebastian Stan was promised that eventually he'll become Captain America like 10 years ago, and he's been waiting with bated breath for years. He's like, yeah, come on, Chris, oh god. Not Payne, not Hemsworth. Not Pratt. Chris. Oh, my god. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, just tell me. What's his last name? I can't remember. Evans! Yes, Chris Evans. Jesus Christ. Oh. That was a total brain fart moment. Christopher Walken, shut up, Jack. I don't believe your lies. Don't believe it at all. Mako, Guardians of the Galaxy is my favourite movie, and I'm most emotional about those characters. I hope they don't kill Drax because of Batista. Yeah. I love Guardians. The first Guardians movie is my second favourite. First Avengers is my favourite, and then the second is my is Guardians 1. Out of the MCU, for sure. Sheldon, are we going to get another Dark Phoenix in 15 years? Very possibly. They might do it. It's kind of funny how we're already hearing a lot of buzz that the one that's coming out is terrible, and it's basically already a case of, well, that's twice they've screwed up this story. Well, we'll see if the MCU can... Oh, pardon me. I'm hiccuping like Connor. This is terrible. Shouldn't be doing this. They're maintaining that New Mutants is still going to be a theatrical release, but even if it is, they're basically just shitting it out because it's over. Renegade, taking the movie out of it, do you think Doctor Strange is a good character? He's his second favourite. I mean, I don't like him. I have no interest in Doctor Strange, and I never have. You know, I tried the Jason Aaron comic book, and Jason Aaron's a great writer, but I just can't do it. I just don't like... I'm not a big magic guy, so Doctor Strange inherently is just not for me. I don't know if it's fair to say that he's not a good character. He's just not a character that I would like. So Guardians is all I like from the MCU. Used to like Ant-Man, but tried to watch it again before seeing the sequel, and just no. That's fair. That's a shame. David, I think the last MCU movie could be Civil War 2. That's when they'll officially be scraping the bottom of the barrel. That is true. Maybe they'll be smart and avoid that, though, which will show you that they're doing a better job. Buana, does Connor have hiccup because of his drinking problem? And no, he just randomly started getting hiccups about 7 years ago. I think it was the day after New Year's. He just woke up and had hiccups, and he's had hiccups ever since. So, you know. Oh. Clicking the wrong things here. What's happening on the Twitters? Nothing super exciting. Yeah, Connor has chronic hiccups. If someone doesn't know this in chat, he has chronic hiccups. It's just always, it's on and off, but it's always there. He always ends up hiccuping. Yeah, he was fine in Infinity War. It's not like he bothered me in Infinity War. I'm just not that interested in him as a character. Rude Boy, I finally watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is now on Netflix, and it was at best a high-budget TV show script. It was dull. Yeah, the script was kind of dull. I mean, I fairly had fun because I think the characters are quite likable in that movie. I liked him and his daughter's relationship. But the actual plot felt very low stakes to me. And it's not that the world had to be in danger, it's just that I don't feel like they set up the villains enough to make it really personal or make me care about it. You didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp either. It felt like a tie-in comic. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And I saw that message, Buana, before you deleted it. I saw it. You feel sorry for Connor's hiccup disability. Do you know, it's actually getting to the time when I normally start the movie, but the chat's still very active. I don't know if, I mean, we don't have to watch a movie. It kind of became the tradition because people would filter out around this time, and there'd be less of us. But I mean, if people are still chatting away, unless everyone here wants to watch the movie, in which case fair enough, we can switch over. The only thing I like about Ant-Man is Paul Rudd and his character. When will Ant-Man hit a woman? Why do you want Ant-Man to hit a woman? I don't get that comment, Buana. Was there a joke in the movie about him avoiding it? The movie was I.O. on Netflix, so it's easy for most people to watch as well. We don't have to do a movie though. Like, I mean, it's basically just because it usually gets quiet after this time. But I'm cool just chatting for another hour. I.O. is the movie, just I.O. It's a Netflix original. Rude Boy, a cool hiccup trick is to lay the person to say to the person that you found their wallet or that they forgot or lost their wallet. They will instantly fill the air pockets and be startled. Fill all their air pockets. He's tried a lot of things. He's tried many a thing to get rid of his hiccups. None of them's worked. David, it should be a running joke that we keep scheduling to watch I.O. but never actually do. That would be pretty funny, actually. Every week we're doing I.O. The thumbnail, because the thumbnail's the same as last week. We could do every week the same thumbnail. I.O. We're doing I.O. this week. Oh dear. Sheldon, you've never seen any Ant-Man or Thor past the first one. Thor 3 was pretty fun. Thor Ragnarok wasn't a serious movie, but it was a good comedy. So I mean, I'll give you that. Renegade, it was Hank Pym who was abusive, but Scott wasn't. That's right. You're true. That's true. Yeah. We need to watch Pretty in Pink. Rude Boy, I think I.O. is probably a little less exciting than Bird Box. That's fair. Yeah, maybe it is too much of a boring choice. Maybe this is where people make me watch things like Pretty in Pink that I've not seen. Connor already made me watch Mean Girls though for Influx. So Mean Girls has been done and out the way. Oh dear. Has the movie started? No, no, no. The movie's not started. Leap Network, welcome to the stream. I actually thought you were someone else there. I didn't realize it was a new person. Zack Snyder is making a movie for Netflix. One that I can avoid watching quite happily. Serenity, is there a tier to request movies we watch together? There isn't. There could be. I was actually thinking about like something for the streams. No worries, Jack. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. You should watch the 80s classic 16 Candles. Do you read the Jinx World Bendis stuff? No, David, I have not. If I did, we'd probably be talking about it on Elsewhere. Had we already started that show, I might have done so for that show. But I kind of missed the boat. I might have to keep an eye out when there's new ones starting. But I haven't read any of them yet. So a couple of them did quite good. I think Pearl, was it called that, looked quite good. I'll let you see. You have to watch a Sharknado movie. We should watch Rescue Dawn. It's really good and slow enough enough that we can also talk. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Something with room for talking. Well, that was why when we first had this idea, it was going to be bad movies typically, because we didn't care that we were talking over it the whole time. We can just enjoy the chaos. I mean, people seem to enjoy when we watched Hard Ticket to Hawaii. That was a fun one, because it was mostly just making fun of it. But I mean, yeah. No, I was trying to think of like a Patreon thing for the live streams. Like, could there be like a thing where people? But I couldn't think of it. Like, I couldn't think of what they do or what could be done with it. But yeah. Cindy, have you seen Night of the Creeps? Found it on the free IMDb streaming service. I have seen Night of the Creeps, and it's good fun. So it's a fun horror comedy written and I think directed by Fred Decker. So it's a fun 80s high school horror comedy. Yeah, it's good. I've got it on Blu-ray actually. Over there somewhere. Is that IMDb streaming service available everywhere? I didn't even know. I think the problem with that though, does it not have ads? I think it has ads, which would be fine except for the fact that if we're all watching it in sync and we get different ads, it might put us all out of sync. Which is awkward. But yeah. Mako, the only time I've watched a movie like this was with Grace Randall from Beyond the Trailer, and that was weird. But the movie was weird, or just the act of watching a movie with people online was weird? It's a little weird, but you know, it can be fun. It's funny, I've barely watched any wrestling in the last year and a half because of our recording schedule. I'm always busy when it's on live, and honestly, without watching it live with other people to sit and like make fun of it and crack jokes, most of the appeal for me is gone. It's actually really boring watching wrestling later when it's, you know, when you're on your own. So I've basically barely paid attention to it for a long time. It also wasn't very good for a long time, but that doesn't matter if you're watching it with people, because you get to have fun just being, you know, stupid with it. But yeah, watching it on your own after the fact is really boring and tough. Mr. Rude have you seen 7 Minutes in 7 Minutes in Heaven on Netflix? Guy and girl go into a closet in a high school party, but when they open the door to leave, reality is not the same. I have not seen that. I've not even heard of that. I saw the one about the photo booth that sends Adam Levine back in time, but I haven't heard of that one. WWE is circling the drain. I kind of agree. It's a shame. They've got a lot of talented people on it, but it's a rough watch just now. You should see what Sieging Go TV does. Stream the movie TV show live on Twitch, and you can minimize it as if it was a reaction vid. I feel like that's asking for trouble. Like, I know on YouTube they basically like catch you no matter what you do almost. I don't know how other channels get away with it. I really don't. Like, any channel I've ever asked, like, if they've tried to do it, they've said they've tried it once and got a copyright claim, like, immediately. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm not doing that. New companies are coming up. Yeah, the one with Cody Rhodes is getting a TV deal, right? So that may become a good thing. Why not watch real fights? Because I actually don't give a shit about real fights. I actually think real fights are boring. I don't like condemn it, but I also don't really get like actually wanting to watch people really fight. Like I kind of think it's stupid. I think it's stupid as a sport. like I don't see the point. Like why fight each other? Whereas scripted fighting is more interesting to me because it's got a story. It should have a story. It's a performance. It's got ups and downs. They actually a good match will be structured and it'll have ups and downs. It'll have close calls. It'll have all these things. It'll be planned. I like that it's planned. To me, a real fight is mostly going to be boring because it's either going to be really quick and easy or whatever. That's why you do it on Twitch, not YouTube. And you're good. Just don't post it. Interesting. I think there's a service that lets people sync up video actually that I could maybe look into, but I don't know. It's the story behind it. Oh, real fighting, you mean? We could do another YouTube movie. No, we could. Well, that's how we do it, Serenity. We sync up our copies. I just say 3, 2, 1 and press play. And it's old school, but it works. I think the reaction videos actually inspire people to watch shows they didn't think to watch. I would have probably never watched Expanse for years had it not been for this show. Yeah, I mean, I think... it's the same with gaming streams. Like, a lot of people early on thought, is streaming games just kind of copyright infringement? And then it's like, well, no, like, so many people watch games being played and then decide they want to play them for themselves. So it's actually just free advertising in a lot of ways. Sure, some people will just watch and never buy something, but those people were probably never going to buy it anyway. Is kind of the argument. Like, the people who actually would play them will probably end up getting it. Same principle to a point with like reviews and stuff for movies and TVs and stuff like that. Mako, Kirk fighting the Gorn is better than the whole of WWE. I mean, I can't argue. Travelers 2, yeah, I am so glad that I got someone to watch Travelers. I love that we recommended that and you loved it. Same with Expanse. I really do. That's why we watch porn, for the stories. Hey, sometimes a bit of context makes it sexier. Alright? Sometimes some context is sexy. David, when I had Robin Hood downloaded and figured it'd be a fun one. Bought it in at $20, sitting at $80 right now. Okay. Serenity, I think comedies are the best because we can all just chill and laugh together. Leap Network, have you and Connor been watching the new True Detective season? We watched the first episode. Actually, the first 2 episodes, because they put the first 2 episodes out. We thought it was okay, but we didn't like it enough to keep watching it. We kind of felt like it was probably going to be just a bit too samey for us. And we had other things that we could spend the time on, so we've not been watching True Detective, no. The first 2 episodes weren't bad, though. They were actually perfectly fine. They just weren't great. You know, they weren't, like, encouraging. They weren't exciting. Sorry, yeah, that's true. Though I don't hate anime like you do, I only watch one. But because of the CJ streams, I've watched stuff like Steven's Universe. Steven's Universe. It's getting late, man. But if I could make the text bigger on this. I can clean my glasses, actually. I think that's what's going on here. My glasses could use a scrub. You're getting a rare sight of me without glasses for the next few seconds. I can't quite read the chat without my glasses on, so I will wait until I've got them on. But know that I'm thinking of you. Know that I'm thinking of you. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Mako, the opening of Travelers Season 2 is one of the best openings I've seen. The one where there's an attack in a building. Yeah. I don't know why you don't want to spoil it. That was a really cool scene. That was a really cool, because there's the moment, I think, where the audience realizes what it is, and it's a really nice scene. Oh my god, a gremlin. Thank you, Buana. Thank you, Buana. Do you know what's funny though? Because I've been wearing glasses since I was 5, I do have like a line on either side of my head. You can feel like an indent on either side of my head, going back that way. It's really funny. Kind of. I trust it's not going to cause me health issues, but that's okay. Next week's Comics from the Multiverse, which takes the lead Batman Flash crossover or Female Furies. Probably Batman Flash crossover. Typically with the minis, they don't always get the top billing. Sometimes the minis still go after all the ongoings, and I think Female Furies probably falls into that category. I think it takes like a big creator to like get it pushed up if it's a mini. Not counting events, of course. That's my logic usually, anyway. I mean, you can agree or disagree, but thinking of me in what way? Wink face. Oh, you don't want to know how I was thinking of you. Cindy, finished The Expanse Season 1 last week. I definitely wouldn't have gotten past Episode 2 without you guys. No, I'm glad I stuck with it. Yeah, I guess, like, I think Episode 4 is where it really clicks. Episode 4 of The Expanse is where it clicks. And then Season 2 and 3, I think, are better than Season 1. Like, I think it's continuously gotten better. To the point where we gave it Show of the Year for 2018. Now, admittedly, yes, there was no Mr. Robot in 2018. So it's maybe not as impressive as it could be, but it did beat Better Call Saul, which, you know, had you asked me in Season 1 when Saul was on Season 3, like, which one's better, like, or Season 2 even, like, no way. Like, Saul would have won hands down. Expanse has legitimately gotten better. I cannot wait for Season 4. Cannot wait. You know, I read that wrong there for a second, Serenity. I said, Batman Who, it's all about the furries. And I thought, oh, God, what? Rude Boy, are you going to watch Jessica Jones Season 3, or is Marvel on Netflix dead to you? It's basically dead to me. I mean, like, Punisher Season 3 was probably the only one that could have, like, got us back in for something. And even then, we just didn't feel like it. It felt like such a slog. It just like, oh man, I can't really be bothered with 13 episodes of this. I think you think that I am not mature. I don't think that you're not mature. I'll leave that there. Mako, do you think they'll up the budget for Season 4 or leave it at the same level? I think leave it at the same level. I don't think... I mean, Amazon could spend more on it, but I don't think Amazon actually, like... I don't think so. I think it'll be the same. I mean, if anything, I would worry that it might go down a little bit, but I don't think it will. I think because Bezos loves that show and loves the books, that he's made sure they at least stay consistent. Bezos has a lot of bad things about him, but his fandom of The Expanse is not one of them. A billionaire loving a show basically saved it from getting cancelled, which is amazing. A furry who dresses as Batman. Off to Google. You can keep those search results to yourself. I am good, thank you very much. I am good. Oh, clicking off the chat now. What am I doing? What's actually quite funny is thanks to Serenity taking a $50 tier Patreon level, we're actually only $6 away from the next goal, which is to have me and Connor do Firefly on Already Cancelled. Boana, I think you think that I'm actually very intelligent. Leap Network, are you looking forward to the Twilight Zone reboot from Jordan Peele? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to him as a host. I'm looking forward to the updated stories and the new stories. Some impressive cast members in there. Should be. I'm hoping it's good. I think it'll be a really fun one to review every week when it hits. It's definitely one of the bigger things on the radar in terms of new shows this year, if you can call it new. Mako, spend all the money. What do you mean, all the money? All the money! It's how I imagine Bezos upping the budget for The Expanse. Yeah, I can see them coming out of the office, like, you know, Alcon Productions, who actually make the show, and actually spend the money. Like they come in and go, okay, we're going to decide a deal for the Expanse, and Bezos like, yes. What was your budget on season 3? And they'll be like, it was like 70 million for all 13 episodes, and he's going to be like, right, so do you think 3 billion will do? And they'll be like, yeah, we can spend 3 billion on a season, sure. We can do that. All of a sudden, The Expanse looks even better than like every big budget movie ever. Because to be fair, The Expanse typically looks quite impressive. It's one of the most impressive TV shows for visual effects, actually. So it doesn't really need more. It just needs to be the same, and that'll be cool. Renegade, actually, you should watch The Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. It's short, and we can talk during it. Oh yes, I've been meaning to watch that for a long time, actually. It's also a Netflix movie. Made in Georgia. Okay. Take your word for it. Or else there's been any like YouTube comments. I wonder. Nah, it's been a quiet night on YouTube. That's okay. That's quite okay. Star Trek's getting up there on the numbers. That was Next Gen episode 7 that went up for Patreon today. 6 went out for the public. What's this? I'm going to vet this link, Serenity, before I let anyone see it. Okay. Because I know what you were Googling, so I was checking it first. It's not as bad as you think. One of the results is a Fox girl dressed as Batman t-shirt, and there was a Fox girl, I'm sensing a theme here, dressed as Batgirl with Batman. Yeah. Mako, let's pay for the entire series now. I want to get that tax break. Here's 2 billion now. Now leave me alone and see how I can control the world. I wonder if his favourite character is Jules Pierre Mao. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. That's Bezos' favourite character. Buana, I am the public. Yes, you are the public. You're very much the public. Serenity, I'm a good guy. You know what? I was just vetting it. Who knows what that link could have been? But I mean, I would have checked it anyway, no matter who it was, because you know that's just good practice. But yes, I agree, Serenity. You're a good guy. Where's So yeah, t-shirt ideas. We didn't talk about this earlier, actually. Screw the movie. We've got t-shirt ideas to talk about. What was that going to... Oh, yeah. Let's look over here. I know the Great Ginger Degrader was one that was requested. Never get stuck in the Speed Force. Makes a lot of sense, obviously. Tim Loves the Boys, still your favourite, Renegade? Yeah, if you followed the stream's midnight Twitter, Renegade, you would have seen Tim tweeted out as Screams After Midnight a picture of The Boy 2 saying it was going to be a good year, and I almost revoked his access to the Twitter immediately. I mean, how dare. Serenity, are you guys doing Umbrella Academy next week? And don't you think it's strange that Doom Patrol doesn't have a trailer when it comes out next week as well? We are doing Umbrella Academy. I mean, no promises that we'll do the whole thing. If we watch the start of it and don't like it, then, you know, that's whatever. But yeah, we're trying Umbrella Academy for sure. Hopefully it's good. Is it strange that Doom Patrol doesn't have a trailer yet? A little bit. It's had that little teaser, but yeah, no proper trailer. I guess they're banking on just nerds who know what it is showing up. Maybe. I don't know. Buana, here, you're a smart fella, Dad. Thanks, Meg, and you're a fart smeller. Reggae, I don't have Twitter, but that just sounds like Tim. It does. It does. He's a menace, is what he is. Never get lost in the Speed Force with a bunch of stolen logos would be cool. Yeah, we can't do stolen logos now. Come on. You know that fine well. If I could make some sort of simple lightning bolt to go with it, though, that'd be nice. I am not, however, an artiste. Therefore, I cannot do that. Has anyone watched Deadly Class? Well, I think you saw that we watched the first episode and probably know my opinion on it. And definitely know Connor's opinion on it. I think Serenity watches it, though. Serenity likes it, I think. I love a bottle movie. Yeah, that could be one. I love a bottle movie or a bottle story or a bottle episode. That could be one. That could be one. I'm trying to think of any other things we said or other things we say. David, I have an idea for Lost in the Speed Force one. Give me some time. All right, say no more, David. If you want to go and design something, and submit it. And also give written approval that we can sell it and make profit off of it, just so there's no legal issues. Then you are more than welcome. Buana, of course, I have taken multiple law classes, saying I am not a smart fella. Well, it's hard to get the tone from some of your like if that was. I mean, I thought that was a joke anyway, but like assuming it's a joke, you know, I have to assume the tone of it, and that can be tough sometimes when it's text. Is Speed Force a trademark term? I wouldn't have thought so, but that's a good question, actually. We actually thought of that. See, when we were starting the podcast, we actually thought of that for Multiverse. We checked to see if Multiverse was linked to DC, but look, it is something that other people have used first. It is a general term for the idea of multiple universes, so it's okay. But is Speed Force a trademark term? You're always kidding with me. Oh, shut your goat mouth is one of your favourite quotes. Okay. Shut your goat mouth. I feel like we have to have some sort of goat mouth on the shirt though for that. A quick Google result, it's not showing me anything for Speed Force being trademarked, but I'm fairly certain it wouldn't show up though. Like I may have to actually, you'd maybe have to actually check some proper, like trademark databases. I mean, Speed Force is written as 2 words. I mean, we could probably get around it. We just cut spelling it as 1 word. Wait, GOAT officially means the greatest of all time now in all caps. That's kind of funny. I mean, I'm familiar with saying GOAT. I'm also familiar with saying GOATY, which is GOTY, which is Game of the Year. People call that GOATY. You only take Connor serious. That's a bad idea. So I would assume it is, since no one else has ever used it when talking about speedsters in any comic or TV show I've ever seen. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it doesn't necessarily mean though that they've actually trademarked it and it's like something we can't put on a shirt. I don't know. It might be though. It may be safe not to. It may be safe not to. Goat can be delicious with jerk spices. Oof. I can't say I've ever eaten goat. I can't say I have. Let's get cozy. Let's get cozy and intimate. GOAT is more a sports term. I just see it on message boards and stuff on Twitter. Well, that makes a design specifically more difficult. It does. I mean, you could just make it one word to get around it, maybe. Just in case. Or... I don't know. Well, actually, I guess the quickest thing to do would be to check other shirt sites and see if... Because someone must have made, like, Speed Force Bro. I ain't got to explain shit. Someone has to have made a shirt of that. Come when you think about it, I don't think it's actually a problem to use the word. I think it's just a problem to, like, if it had a logo or had a font that they used, that'd be a problem. Like, you can still, like, a shirt can still say Batman on it, for example. Even though Batman is definitely trademarked. Like, a shirt can still have a sentence with the word Batman in it and not be illegal. I'm sure that's true. I'm fairly positive of it. Goat is Jamaican food. Okay. Rude Boy, I think shirts with your already existing shows and logos have more mass appeal than inside jokes and terms that only your audience gets. That's true. Yeah, but surely the people buying the shirts and hoodies would be our audience anyway, right? And you're right. I expect the logos from the shows to do better than anything else, but I think we just like the idea of having a few like fun shirts that fans would get. Maybe I could think of some more colour schemes for some of the logos. Use extra E's. Renegade, I remember you once yelling, Tim, you shut your whore mouth, Timmy. I have said that. I don't know if the site would let us put that on a shirt, though. I don't know if they'd accept the word whore on the shirt, as funny as that would be. Hey Victor, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was thinking about some of the other shows because I feel like because I've not put up any television from the multiverse or elsewhere in the multiverse stuff because I feel like Comics from the Multiverse is the flagship show. It feels weird to me to put the other two up, but I was trying to think of some sort of like combination where maybe it says comics, TV, or television and elsewhere on the same one. If you're someone who likes all three shows, then like some sort of multiverse, like combined shirt, would be good. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe this would be a fun idea. Maybe like a D&D alignment grid, and then have me, Tim, Connor, Matt, and like the squares that we would be in with like simple, not like photos, but like, I don't know, just some sort of simple visual representation of us. Oh right, I see what you mean. You think it'd be better for promotion to have more people walking around with the actual show names and Mild Fuzz TV on it. I get what you mean. I get what you mean, actually. That's true. I mean, there's truth in that. Cartoon doodles. We'd need to have someone who's good enough at cartoon doodles to doodle for us. The idea I was talking about there with the D&D alignment, that would still say Mild Fuzz TV on it for sure. Like, I wonder if it would work to even just do like different colors of like some of the stuff. Like Mild Fuzz TV, of course, is like white and red or in black. Like, would there be appeal in having like a white and blue version or a white and green version? Would there be appeal in like a neon one that was like pink and green? I don't know. Or nah. Or maybe something with like our names. Like, what about the Mild Fuzz logo as it is? But on the other side of the line, you have like our names or something like that. I don't know. Heather versions of colors are my favorite. One, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I have dabbled briefly, but not. I've never played a proper full game of it. So anyway, well, according to this site that checks for trademarks, DC isn't listed, but 3 other companies are. Note that the trademark and copyright are different. Did you do an almost cancelled? Well, I've not done an almost cancelled one yet. I can't verify that the font is completely free to sell products of, so I've not put an almost cancelled one up yet. Let's have a look at this trademark info. Speed Force. That even has a little lightning bolt. So it would have to not match that image at least. But this is for chainsaws. This is for power tools and stuff. Dietary. There is one for hats, shoes, t-shirts, belts and stuff. Yeah. Golf clubs, toy vehicles and accessories. So there is one specific to clothes. But I don't know if that matters if you're doing it with like a logo and stuff. And I don't know if it matters the same if it's in a sentence. Because it wouldn't just be Speed Force, it would be don't get lost in the Speed Force. There'd be a whole sentence to it. Sheldon wants that I am Peter and that is Connor. I feel like I'm the only one who can wear that though. That would work for me. I could wear that shirt. Don't use a non-government website though. Yeah, that's fair. I'm with Connor. I wonder if you could do like a custom thing where people could request their own names on something. That could be fun. I don't know. We've definitely sold more than I thought we would, though. I did not expect as much merch to be sold in the first month. And I imagine it'll go down in the second month, because the people who wanted to buy something will have bought it, and, you know, that'll be it for a while, but it's still very encouraging to see anyone buy anything, to be honest. Do you guys ever comment on AfterBuzz? No, in fact, I don't believe I've ever really watched AfterBuzz. I think I clicked on them a couple of times back when we were starting. Well, not even starting, but back when we were like a few months in. And we were basically looking at what the competition was. I think I clicked on it to see what they were like, briefly. But I've never really watched an AfterBuzz video. But they are technically our main competition for TV content. Buona Beast customer shirt and I'm all in. You want a custom Buona Beast shirt? We could probably do that. Bring the mic up a little bit. I have grown tired of sitting down. AfterBuzz, the show I watched first when Mr. Robot came out, and it just seems so fake and corporate. Yeah, I think that's always the worry for something like our stuff. Like, I think the appeal of our stuff is that it's a bit more natural and down to earth. But we're also not completely idiots either, because obviously there's a lot of people on YouTube who'll quickly make something and it'll just be, you know, yeah, I really like the show, it was pretty good, and but it won't sound like that. It'll sound like this. Yeah, I really like the show and it was pretty good, and the camera will be blurrier and the whole thing. I'm basically making fun of bad YouTubers. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's a worry that it can get too corporate and it feels like sterile. Like it feels more like they're doing it as a business first and everything else is secondary. Whereas what we do is just, we like doing it, and then we would like that to become a business and something that could be sustaining. Buana, people like you, Pete, don't listen to your shrink. Okay. Mako, you've got to go. No worries, Mako. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Goodbye. Good night. But yeah. In fact, honestly, one of the best comments we ever got, honestly, was on a review, I think, of Mr. Robot, that said something like, "You guys are way better than those AfterBuzz assholes. You deserve way more subscribers." And I don't want to like be in competition with anyone. I would never start shit with another channel. I don't. That's just bad. It's bad taste, basically. But nothing is more thrilling in the comments than a commenter shitting on someone else and saying we're way better than them. Especially when it's someone who gets more views than we do. And AfterBuzz typically do. There's been the odd thing here or there that we might have gotten better views than, but not most. But no, that was a fun comment. I always remembered that one. Leave that open, actually. The appeal of your show is Connor. Oh dear. People work at 2 a.m. It may be a different time zone as well, Serenity. Or maybe it just means that he needs to sleep so that he can be up for work. Actually, no, that's a good point. Mako's in Europe, so he's actually ahead of time than I am. So he's at least at 8 a.m., maybe 9 a.m. So it's not 2 a.m. where he is, Serenity. Renegade, you're honestly better than 90% of the channels on here. Thank you, Renegade. I mean, I watch a few YouTube channels. There's a few YouTube channels that I really like, but Rude Boy, I just feel that AfterBuzz seems like a show where the hosts were told to watch a show and then pretend to figure out the twist when in reality they probably have inside info. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Serenity, the thing is, AfterBuzz hurt itself by making all these sub-channels, one for animation, one for sci-fi, one for dramas, so the numbers have dropped. But I almost do not want to get as big as you deserve. I want you all for my pit self. Pray. What I'll say is, if we get bigger, don't worry, our attitude to how we tackle things won't really change. But obviously we would like to get bigger so that we can, so that at least both me and Connor can be full-time doing this. And if we can eventually make Tim and Matt full-time, I think they can do that if they want. That'd be great. Did Connor ever say what he does for work? I remember someone asking, but I don't know if he responded. He confirmed that he works at an airport, but he cannot disclose anything else. He signed contracts. He's not allowed to tell us anything else. Well, he's not allowed to tell you anything else. I know what he does. Because that's the dream. The dream is to make a reasonable living from doing reviews and stuff. And that's fun. In Scotland it is 7 a.m. Mako, I know though, is further east. So Mako will be at 8 a.m. or maybe 9 a.m. depending. I'm not sure what time zone he's in exactly. He's the Prime Minister's personal guard. No. It's 11 p.m. in Pacific, yeah. So, no, I mean, the hope is that, like, you know, it gets big enough that YouTube and Patreon both make enough that it can be sustainable. And you know, scheduling would get better if that was the case, though, because we wouldn't have to work around other schedules. We could just, it would be the main work schedule, would be everything we do. But yeah, that's the hope. And there was a long time back in the early days. Back in the early days, I remember we went like years with like no audience. Like, you know, there was years where there was like, you know, maybe 20 to 50 views per video, and it was, you know, it's like we kept doing it because we wanted it to become better, and like we eventually got better, and then it eventually brought in more of an audience. Particularly in late 2016, it got a lot better, and we've been kind of growing steadily ever since. But there was a really like rough long time before that. The guys at AfterBuzz are too loud, can't understand a word they say, and AfterBuzz doesn't have Connor. Why does the Crow love Connor so much? Is this because everyone else makes fun of him? Is this like a defensive thing? So that he's got someone in his corner? Connor's corner, you might call it. Oh dear. Connor is my Robin. Oh, damn it. Well, I hope he's the Jason Todd then. And I can replace him with someone better. 2016 is about when you found his Renegade. That's fun. Yeah. Scream's a good fun. Joe, it's hard to actually market is the audio feeds. Which is obviously like something we started doing last year in addition to YouTube. Like, you can get Streams After Midnight as an audio download on a podcast app. It's really hard to market those and like make sure, because they're in the description. Like the link to the audio feed's always there in the description. Now obviously we actually prefer people watching us on YouTube because YouTube has ads, whereas the audio feed doesn't. But I mean, the whole point is if someone only wants the content as an audio podcast, then they can have that, and then if they want to like go to Patreon and like throw in $1 per month, they can, and that is like, that's great. Like, you know, it's silly to be like, no, we won't put it on podcast apps because we can't monetize that. No, that's stupid. You put it on the podcast app, and hopefully you find an audience that grows, and some of those people will go to Patreon. That is the game plan. Obviously YouTube you can monetize and you can put some ads in. And I have very strict rules about mid-roll ads. Cindy, you found us during Season 3 of Twin Peaks. Was that one of the shows that was successful for you guys? Oh, absolutely. Twin Peaks was very consistent. It never went nuts in the middle, but it was very consistently getting 1,000 views per episode. And then the first and last went into 3, 4, 5,000, so on. That's definitely a successful show for us, for sure. I mean, hell, we started doing the original Twin Peaks at the start of the year in 2017, and the first episode of Twin Peaks, the pilot, is actually one of the highest. It's in like our top 10 videos of all time, even though the episode's like 25 plus years old, which is weird. But I mean, I don't mind. Do you post your video vids on other social media? We don't post the videos anywhere. We do post the YouTube link, on Twitter and Facebook, and I think we dabbled with Tumblr briefly for a while, but that felt like a lot of effort, and it wasn't really gaining much. We do pay for some ads on Facebook occasionally to try and grow the audience that way. Not much, but like a little bit here or there. Mr. Robot does usually do well for us. Does Matt work as a janitor for a school? I don't think that's his job title specifically, but he does work at a school. I will confirm that. Crow, Connor is more like Batmite. You're the one sticking up for him. Why are you saying that? Rude Boy, when Mr. Robot Season 4 comes out, you'll probably see a boom in views, so there will be a great time for self-promotion with a new audience. Yeah, Mr. Robot does well. Mr. Robot was one of the first shows that started doing like serious numbers. And by serious numbers, for us, what I mean by that is consistently in the thousands. Because there's so much stuff we do. Like if you look at Screams After Midnight, most Screams After Midnight episodes are like 150, maybe 200, which is fine. We're okay with that. Cindy, you posted one of our vids on your Tumblr, the Mute review. That's cool. what a review to share out as well, where me and Connor were baffled by the quality of that. But that's cool. No, I mean, people sharing us on social media is great. Like, you know, if people share us on social media, that's hopefully how we spread a little bit. Oh, the dream, of course, is to get someone famous to tweet something out. And then just thousands of people swarm the channel, and then if like 1% of those people sticks around, it's like a positive influx. But yeah, nah. Honestly, the biggest things that we've done on YouTube, which is mostly TV shows, Mr. Robot for sure. Twin Peaks is pretty big, but the highest ones would be Mr. Robot. The two highest by far is Black Mirror and Handmaid's Tale. Those two have done insane. Handmaid's Tale season 1 videos are like ridiculously high. It's insane how big. The first one's like at 50,000 views. This is not counting the Green Inferno review on the old channel, the old movie channel, which we don't use anymore, but that's up to like 450,000 views for some reason. I don't know why, but it just does. Renegade, it was weird watching your Mr. Robot season 1 reviews. There was a time when you weren't the ringleader. Yeah, I know. Alex used to be the host of Almost Cancelled way back in the early days, until he passed away. So sometimes it's a shame because we've grown so much since those days. That was back when we had almost no viewers, and it's a shame to think that he never got to see us grow bigger than that. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah. So it's weird going back to those days. It's just weird with some of the other guys, who, because we had Mario and Alden on some stuff, but that was inevitable that was going to change. I think because those guys were really fussy about what they wanted to watch, and it's not so much that me and Car don't decide not to watch things, but we try most things. Yeah, things had to change at that point. Yeah, you didn't know he passed away. Yeah, he passed away in 2015. I think he passed away. Now, yeah, it's been a while. Or was it 2016? No, I think it was 2015. It was 2015. Yeah. You think Car's the guy at the runway who helps people? Buana, you did see me playing games with a group of random people. Playing games? I remember playing games. I don't remember this. What are we talking about? Serenity, are you going to do an Oscars results show stream or just talk about the winners that are important to you in the news section of the movie podcast? I think we'll talk about the movie news. I think the movie news before the Oscars, we'll maybe do some predictions for fun, and then the movie news after the Oscars, we'll talk about the relevant winners that we care about. So yeah, I think that's the plan. I think that's what we did last year. And I think our predictions are just for fun, for point's sake, so that we can have a winner. I don't think we're the best people to be guessing these things, so we just have fun with it and treat it like a bet. Don't know what the stakes are going to be though, but Connor with those two flashlights with the orange cones over them and a pair of noise protection headphones directing a plane to a park would be hilarious to see. I mean, does he even need the vest? With that hair, with the hair color, I don't think he even needs the vest. I think he can just do it. It's fine. It's natural illumination. I think that works. I'll tell you what's doing quite well right now, actually, is Kingdom. I think Netflix shows, on the whole, not every Netflix show, but Netflix shows, by and large, have a really good chance of success. Haunting of Hill House did very well for us. Kingdom's doing fairly well right now. Dark did very well on Netflix. What else has done really well on Netflix? A bunch of them have done. Netflix is usually a really good source of viewers for us. Which is why we do prioritize like checking out a lot of their stuff. Russian Doll didn't though. Russian Doll, even though we got that up the day it came out, still kind of just landed with a thud. No one really cared for some reason. Renegade's going to get in the Oscar predictions. That's fun. People can join in. Brianna, you saw a real old 1080 video, and there was a bunch of people on a couch. I didn't really watch it far because the video was not great. Oh yeah, that was ancient. Yeah, that was that I wasn't even on that. That was Alex and his friends playing something. He was trying to incorporate more local people near him into some content. It never really took off. Because we actually tried doing 1080-bit video game stuff a long time ago, and we actually stopped doing it because we didn't feel like there was enough to do week to week for it, especially with us doing other content. We brought it back as a monthly show because me and Connor do like video games, but monthly was the right pace for us to have time to have played some games, and there's always at least enough interesting news in a month, whereas weekly, some of the 1080-bit episodes from a long time ago were really rough. At least I thought they were. But yeah, Renegade, still need to watch your Kingdom reviews. And Crow, is Kingdom any good? Kingdom's not bad. I mean, we're 3 episodes in. Episode 1's a little bit slow, but it sets up some interesting stuff at the end. And then I think 2 was a bit better, and then 3 is the best episode yet. Some good zombie stuff. It's zombies in in the past. It's a period piece in Korea. It's pretty good. Netflix are really bad at marketing their shows that are foreign to anyone that isn't from that country. So you have to go searching for it, but it is there. Rude Boy, there's something about Natasha Lyonne that you just can't take seriously. Her acting style is odd, but not in a good way like Parker Posey. I get the comparison though. They both have their own kind of quirk to them. I kind of get the comparison actually. I kind of see it. I see what you mean. Dear. But yeah, so Netflix, so Umbrella Academy, I hope does quite well for us. That tends to do well, and or Netflix shows tend to do well. So I'm hoping that does well. Amazon's not really hit the same streak though. Amazon shows for the most part have been very disappointing numbers wise, but we keep doing them because we wanted to try some of them anyway, and you never know what show is going to do well. And there's some shows where it doesn't matter if they don't do well because we just like them enough. And if people find it and spread the review, then great, because we might have good conversations about it. But the Amazon shows so far have not been lighting the world on fire. The Hannah pilot, which you think would do quite well being an early review, has been kind of middling on numbers. Now watch Carmen Sandiego yet? I have no attachment to Carmen Sandiego, so I'm not thinking. Was meant to always jerk in the Doom Patrol like Young Justice? Mento? Is that a typo? Who am I thinking of? Mento. Am I blanking on a DC character here? Mento? Is Kingdom anything like Train to Busan? I wouldn't say it's like Train to Busan, no. But Train to Busan's fantastic. It's got fast zombies in it, for starters. I think this is a Doom Patrol character I'm not as familiar with, Mento. He has mental issues. The more he uses his powers, the more unstable he becomes. That sounds like a Doom Patrol character, though, to be fair. I think the biggest Amazon show is Man in the High Castle. Yeah, that's probably true. I feel like a lot of small Netflix shows do really well. Like, our episode 1 review of Samurai Gourmet is like 20,000 views. Like, that just kept going up. Oh, Mento's Garfield's stepfather. Okay, cool. Buana, I don't have friends, so I can't spread the word. That's okay, Buana. Just show up and add to the numbers. That's okay. Hey, you realize something new every day. Mento's Garfield's stepfather. That's cool. Yeah. I'm hoping, because Samurai Gourmet did well on Netflix. Random pilots we've done on Netflix have done really well. Have you seen the Netflix movie Delirium starring Topher Grace? I have not. I think I vaguely remember going up. I feel like after the first few movies, Netflix started pumping movies out like consistently to the point where they don't even feel like an event anymore. They're just kind of like, oh, this week's Netflix movie. This week's Netflix movie. Although seemingly they quite like doing the one big movie towards Christmas, like Bird Box and Bright. But Serenity watches 2 Amazon shows: Man in the High Castle and Just Add Magic. 3 when Invincible comes out. Yeah, they're developing Invincible. There's a Nicholas Winding Refn show being developed, which already had a teaser trailer actually, so that should be relatively soonish. Sushi Samurai. Samurai Gourmet, I think you'll find is the title. Buana. Was Bright bad? I thought Bright was pretty bad. But I don't like David Ayer movies though, or David Ayer movies. I find his movies to be kind of unpleasant, and I felt the same way about Bright. There's moments in it that aren't terrible, but I didn't like it. What is... Oh, was that me? That's a weird time for it, but... Okay, alright. I got a weird email from PayPal. I was like, I didn't do this, what's this? But I did do that. It just took a long time for it to go through. So that's okay. Man, the amount of junk emails I get. Bye-bye. Bright is getting a sequel? It is indeed. You thought Bright was boring, Serenity? Renegade, from what I heard, Castlevania was the highest watched and rated show on Netflix in its first season. I don't think it was the highest Netflix show. It may have been the highest Netflix animated show. I'm fairly certain it wasn't the highest like show in general. I feel like a lot of the live action ones have been bigger. Maybe I'll be surprised that I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's not right. Actually, Rude Boy, I think you bought a Mild Fuzz TV hoodie, didn't you? Did it arrive yet? Does it look spiffy? I want to get a black one myself. I might get one soonish. Did you watch Death Note, the live action movie? I did not. I was considering it before it came out because I like the director, typically. But then it came out and the reviews were really mediocre, so I kind of just steered clear from it. And obviously I've never seen like the original or have any familiarity with it. I mean, boring can be... I think boring's a type of bad. I mean, bad can be many different things, Serenity, but I think if you make something that's not engaging, then I would argue that it has bad pacing, but possibly bad writing. It depends on what's causing the boring. You've got the hoodie you wear at the gym. That's cool. Does the logo look good on it? I plan on getting a black one with a red hood at some point. I do love the idea of us coming on one of the videos and being decked out in Mild Fuzz merchandise, which would maybe actually drive sales if people see it. Actually, was a good point. Right, seems like a rip off of Alien Nation. It's funny you say that because me and Connor reviewed Alien Nation around the same time as Bright, and we never actually reviewed Bright, but we brought Bright up in Alien Nation because the plot's so similar. David, since you never watched the show, you might not hate it, but dear God, I hate the Death Note movie. That's fair. Rude Boy, you think the Mild Fuzz logo is good? Thank you. I think it's nice and simple. I like the simplicity of it. Obviously, we always had the color scheme, but I wanted to create something that was a bit more sleek. I think it looks good on a on a hoodie or a shirt. Now I think I want one of those. Honestly, I want a Mild Fuzz TV hoodie that's black with the red hood. I want a Streams After Midnight hoodie that's black with a grey hood, and I would like maybe a Comics from the Multiverse hoodie as well. And I might grab one of those soon. Show off some of the merch. I should probably get some t-shirts as well, because sometimes it's too warm to sit in a hoodie. But like right now I'm not wanting a hoodie on. You agree with me, Serenity? Boring is bad to me. Example MCU films, but I can look at it in context. In Bright, I can't point out anything technical as bad, like acting. It has bored me to death. I think in Bright, I would argue that the characters are a bit thin, and it doesn't. I mean, this is just from memory. It's been a while since I've watched it now, but the characters are a bit thin, and it's hard to get into their motivations. And there's quite a number of plot holes, I think. A black hoodie with the red on the inside of the hood and red drawstring. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If I go to the store, I think that's the default one that I've got that shows up. Yeah, here we go. This is the one that I would like specifically. I think it looks really snazzy. Oh, Mild Fuzz doesn't have the two-tone one in this. We shall correct that. But yeah, I really like that black hoodie with the red inside the hood. It goes with the logo very well, I think. Products, add products. That's an interesting shirt color. Weird. Actually, is that the colours that I'd want? There you go. Done. I'm just adding hoodies to the store. Happy Wednesday, Buana. The elastic tightened wristband is the criticism of the hoodie. Good to know. You mean Happy Magician's Day? Visit shop. Hoodies and sweatshirts. Oh, it's not popped in yet. I'll give it a minute. Bam 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 bam. Designs. Did I save that properly? I did, it's there. It's just taking a little bit of time to show up in the store. Sure, why not? Zatanna and Clarion, it's your day. I think he's excited about the Musicians TV show that's airing on Wednesday. I think that is the case. I think we met Lost Renegade. I think Renegade's fallen asleep. Drilling over her chair or pillow, wherever she's sitting. Sci-Fi's original series Magician is based on the excellent novels. Interesting. This hoodie's taking a while to show up. There's a hoodie for Screams that I really want. I was going to show you, but it's taking a while to appear because I just added it to the store. Rude Boy, you refuse to watch Riverdale. There's nothing about that resembles Archie comics beyond the name of the characters and hair color. Yeah, that's true. Renegade's still here. You're lying in bed with the cats. Yeah. I was close. I don't know what about that. It was close, Buana, but you know, that's okay. It would be like a bright red Connor skin jeans. You would like. I don't think I can do jeans on here. You could probably get a red T-shirt with Connor on it or something. I don't know. That's interesting. They go up to 4XL T-shirts, but only 2XL hoodies. Not that I need 4XL T-shirts. I'm just amused that it goes up that high. Oh, I think we're getting close to wrapping up time here, guys. And I'm amused that for the second week in a row we were supposed to watch IO and didn't. Maybe I'll stop scheduling movies, and just we'll do it if things get slow on a late stream. Because the conversation's been quite active tonight. There's been no need for it, which is good. Also, I recommend going one size bigger on the hoodies if you use a dryer. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure I pretty much always go under that philosophy. I think I always get double XL hoodies just because of that reason. I think XL hoodies fit me when I first get them, but not so much after they've been in the dryer. And I do have to lose weight, admittedly, but I'm still blaming the hoodies. This is annoying me. I want to see this damn hoodie in the store and it's not showing up. How dare it? How dare it? I do think the hoodies with the different colour inside the hood looks better. They cost a couple of dollars more, but I would always get the one with the hood that's a different colour. I think it looks better. And the inside, not the outside, obviously. I do like things dry when in watery situations. Yes. Red Boy, for me the dryer makes the clothes shrink in height, so the waistline ends up too high. Hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can always wait till swimsuit season to lose weight. I think I need to lose more weight than just what people normally lose for the summer, but yeah. Come on, update, you bastard. I don't know how long it takes to update. I'll probably just have to leave it till tomorrow. Actually, you know what? I'll just go to the US site, actually. I'm being stupid. I'm actually being really stupid. I know it's already on another site. But for some reason, I was insisting on looking at that site. Sales channels, visit shop. Hoodies. Yeah, here we go. This is the Screams hoodie I'd like. It's very similar, but with black and grey. Mild Fuzz wrestling tights and speedos. Can we do underwear? I don't think we can. Let me check. Let me check. Products. Add product. I don't think we can do underwear. Nah. No underwear, I'm afraid. We can do hoodies with the logos on the back. Bright red, too sweet swimsuit jackets. That's just a zippy hoodie. What about the ladies section? Does that have anything different? Not really. Tighter fit shirts and stuff like that, but nothing. Kids? Is it just shirts? Yeah, if you got a baby, you want a baby hoodie with Mild Fuzz TV on it, you could do that. What was a baby onesie? Oh my. You can get a baby bib. That's pretty funny to me, actually. You can get a baby cap. All sorts of baby options. All sorts. Yeah, it's very cute. Very, very cute. Alright, I think we're wrapping up here, guys. I think we're wrapping up. I think we're all getting a little bit slower. It's getting very late or early, depending on your location. So the Mild Fuzz black cap looks good. Yeah, cap looks good. Maybe I should buy a hat for it because I've got a plain black hat that I wear sometimes outside. But you're off to watch Roswell and Flash. Serenity. Enjoy indeed. Is there anything I want to tell you guys to wrap up with? I've already told you all the stuff that's coming, I think. Tomorrow should have a Babylon 5 and Elsewhere in the Multiverse, both of which are already recorded, so I feel very confident in saying that. Yeah, so there might only be movie news this weekend. Because we only did TV news this last weekend, and it'll let us catch up because things got delayed. It happens from time to time with the news. And we should be doing a trailer talk soonish, but I don't know if we're waiting for one more big thing to kind of hit. You'll send me a link to the design when you finish. Yeah, no worries, David. I will have a look at it. I'll probably still be awake for a while, to be honest. I'm not like going to bed. I'm probably going to get something to eat and relax for a bit before I possibly even edit Elsewhere. Is maybe something I'll do, so that won't be up too late. And it's a pleasure, Renegade. It is a pleasure keeping everyone company. It's a pleasure that you guys keep me company and entertain my nonsense and weird opinions and whatever. We went through a journey tonight. We talked about insults, t-shirts, weird TV shows, YouTube numbers, very serious topics about Liam Neeson saying things. We went on a gauntlet of conversation topics tonight, and it was pretty much delightful. So thank you very much. Thanks to Machismo again for the super chat as well appreciated. In fact, maybe something I'll start doing actually for super chats is I might put the name of the people who do super chats onto the screen, on the column at the side, over here-ish. I might list them so that they stay up on the screen for the rest of the stream. I think that might be a cool idea actually. Gives them a bit of staying power, I guess. It's pleasant when Connor is not here. You've been sticking up for Connor all night. All of a sudden, it's pleasant when he's not here. Oh dear. But yeah, you go to Patreon, you can go to look at all those other things. YouTube shows us who superheats when it happens. Oh, super chats. Oh yeah, I know it does. But I was just thinking it'd be in the stream the whole time, like it would be on the side of the screen. Yeah, good night, Renegade. Thanks, guys, as always. I mean, I know it makes it very clear in the YouTube chat when it happens, but it goes away eventually. I just thought it'd be nice to have the names up on the side for the whole stream. Unless it fills up to the point where there's too many, in which case they might like knock each other out as it goes on. But that's me, and I hear a cat wanting in, so that's genuinely my cue to wrap this up. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me for the stream. Next week, of course, the regular stream's on Monday. I don't know which night the late stream's going to be on. It's always Tuesday or Wednesday. I will try and let you guys know as soon as I can. If not, then next Monday when we're doing the first stream. Count to 10 on my fingers. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. There's my finger counting regiment. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for being viewers and audience members and supporting everything we do. Thanks to anyone who's a patron. Thanks to everyone else. And thanks, David, for making weird signs. Good night, guys. I will see you next time.